A community is in mourning after a shocking crime against children. A Georgia mother is charged with 2 counts of murder after police say she put her 2 young sons in the oven.
Ezekiel chapter 13, verse 17. Likewise, thou son of man, set thy face against the daughters of thy people, which prophesy out of their own heart, and prophesy thou against them. With this scripture, we will face the traits of a toxic mother.
His own brother. I don't give a fuck what he say. I don't care if he got a PPO, a CPO, a DP. I don't give a fuck what he say. He will not see the daylight of his motherfucking brother until his brother can protect himself against that motherfucker.
Featuring.
Hello, everybody out there in the world. I am Beyond Artrell McCullough, the brainchild behind the YouTube sensation, the Nomad No Cash. But I'm here today to grace the stage with my brother Kevin Jones as we attempt collectively together to display for you all that came to witness a few of the traits of a toxic mother.
YouTube, whoever watching this, I'm Beyond's mother. He's my firstborn son, and I want somebody to get him the hell out of my house. Now take that to the bank. Help me, because I need help. Because this man is getting on my nerves.
May God add a blessing to the doers of his word. Hey, Mom. It's me. You're nobody's born son. I want to ask you something. And no, I don't want no money. Jackie, what do I gotta do? Prove me I love you. I don't know where to start, but I swear to God, my pain, the hurts in the heart, and the piercing is sharp. Looking back on my life as an adolescent, I think why it had to be so hard and start to tear me apart. And yeah, I see you praising the Lord. You blessing, I was blessing you with houses and cars. Was thankful for the presents Christmas time that you bought, but you need to start addressing the cause. Listen, mommy, okay, you raised a troubled child, but it ain't my fault. You supposed to thought of better ways to bring the madness to all. We disobey, you gave us a rod every time when we get caught. So we got a lot of whoopings, but little lessons we taught. When no father raising my sister, don't know how hard I fought to make sure Icy grew up walking the chalk. I used to blame you only, till I realized that that wasn't smart. So I surrendered my life's too short. But can you tell me? Hey, Mom. I tried everything. I done tried it all. I done said it all. Didn't do it all. I'm asking you. That's what I want you to say. I surrendered. I'm always making sacrifices, but why you never show us respect? Said when I was born with sweat, your legs and snap my neck. On my mouth, I want the grown folks and I get there. Although that's something I may never forget, but I learned how to forgive. Yeah, you keep arguing still. Don't you realize confusion makes it harder to live? Ain't gotta kick me out, I'm moving over yonder to live. So while the people start to bother my kids, or maybe bother it is. All of the people back and forth was me and you, but now it's really starting to bother the kids. And I ain't perfect, but over half of the time the shooting be starting it. How you gonna fix the problem and don't know what the cause of it is? I'm always getting on my knees and asking God to come in. Well, you pastors told me God don't hear your prayers if you sin. So where do I go? The Bible say I'm a mother and a father, but folk not your child to rap. Let me know. Just try it. Just tell me. I'm asking you.
Good evening, everyone. This is the sweet sounds of your boy, No Cash. The intro was done by TV Killer. Shout out to TV Killer and No Cash. I'm just gonna do a brief introduction and let you know what we're doing here. But at first, I gotta put out a disclaimer because a lot of people reached out to me about some of their traumatic experiences in their childhood and their experiences with their mothers.
and a lot of them have stated how their mother had passed and they never had the opportunity to really reconcile. So that's very unfortunate. And I empathize, I sympathize, and I understand where you guys are coming from. But what I'm trying to do is reach out to the people who have their mothers and fathers or their mother, because today we're talking about toxic mothers. So I want to reach out to those who are dealing with some similar situations that I've been dealing with in the past couple of years. I've been compelled to come out and speak against some of these things that are traumatizing in our community and not really well spoken about or highlighted or identified in our community. And it's very important due to the nature of the fact that a lot of single mothers are out here and they're raising children. And there are some difficulties in raising children and doing things the appropriate way when you had negligence in your childhood and experiences that have been traumatic, and its impact is great. And a lot of people, a lot of children, and a lot of teenagers do not know how to navigate some of these troubled waters or uncharted waters. So we want to highlight today some of the things that we think would help us to identify some of these traits of toxicity within the Black community or any community, really, you know, when it comes to mothers and some of the toxic traits that we have to deal with in our community that may have gone undiagnosed or not no counseling or anything like that. So I'm gonna try to attempt to highlight some of the things that I think that would help us and give a brief history of some of the things that we've dealt with. I think, of course, everybody who's privy to my station have seen some of the things that happened between myself and my mother in these past couple of months. And that impact has left a bad taste in my mouth. And I feel like to counter some of this and to help other people understand my experience, I can highlight some of the details that may have contributed to this and maybe some factors that could counter this. But most of all, we need to identify this a problem. This is a real problem, and it's something that we need to deal with within our community. Although it's two males on here, I'm speaking from the male perspective, but I would like at the end of this to hold a panel so that some of the women can speak maybe to their situation, because I've talked to a lot of people that had some similar experiences with their mother, and they told me their stories, and it's really impacted me in a way that I think is profound enough to make me want to speak about this matter. So I'm doing this for the wellness of our community. This is something, a way for me to give back and to help maybe people who don't or who are not familiar with these experiences, and help to highlight some of the difficulties and the challenges of being raised in toxicity. So without further ado, I was trying to wait on my brother to come up. I don't know where he is, so I'm gonna try to get up here with no cash and see if he can help out with some of this stuff, because he had a lot to contribute to this, and I was looking forward to him being here. I don't know where he is right now, but I'm waiting on him. But let me see if I can get a hold of him real quick. Hold on for a second. 1 second. Well, briefly, until we get a hold of him, I wanted to take a look at this presentation, bring this presentation up so we can highlight some of these things that I think is important for us to understand about the situation. Hold on. Hello? Did you get the invite? Yeah, the link. I sent it to both phones. Okay. Yeah, I already started. It started at 7:30. Okay, just pull up, and I'm present this presentation first. Okay. All right. We lagging behind time a little bit, but while we waiting, we can pull up this presentation that I wanted to present to help direct this. Oh, wait. 1 second. I ain't got no sound. All right, here we go.
Known this young man 24 hours, and there's no way in the world, just reading his space, that I know he's going to allow a man to abuse a woman in his presence.
She doesn't think about me that way. She doesn't.
Well,
because I
then
just
you
saw
don't
him
need
playing
to be
basketball and going on dates together.
So what?
And
Mind your business. You say that you don't see the man that your son is. So I'm asking you, since this is not a demonstration of a man, you need to tell me what man you're using to measure him with. Which one?
my idea.
Which is your idea.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that the idea you trained him up to be?
No.
Oh. So how in the blazing bejesus are you holding him accountable to a standard that you didn't teach him, his father didn't give him, he don't even know what it is, and yet as his mother, you sit in his face and tell him you don't respect him as a man? Tell me how that works. Help me.
Like I said, it was events. It wasn't just.
I'm talking
And
about
it's
one
also
thing.
how he treats me.
Yeah, but I'm
doesn't
talking.
respect me
Hello.
as a mom, and so-
You see, you are a provocative victim. You provoke stuff, and then when you start being held accountable for it, then you start twisting and turning and making the other person wrong. Look at me, Ma. Look at me. Look at me. You just sat here and told your son, who ain't got a needle in his arm, who I'm assuming pays his own rent. He's married to a registered nurse. He's got 3 baby boys. And you just sat here in his face and said, I don't respect him as a man.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't think to consider what that does to his heart, to his soul, to his spirit.
I'm sure that's hurtful.
And you okay with that?
And it's hurtful for the things that he says.
But there you go. You're doing it. You're doing it right now. You're doing it right now.
Because it's
I'm
like-
holding you accountable, and you spinning your web. You're
can't
trying to
say
get away.
nothing when it
You're
comes
trying
to
to get
justice.
away. Tell me. Just here's the question. Just answer it. We'll get back to that other
Okay,
stuff later. Tell me.
Forgive me. I respect him. He's a wonderful man.
Do you understand that your mouth, your voice, your words are connected to the coils in his heart, to the valves in his heart? He can't help but love you. And every time you dishonor that love, you chip a piece of it. This is why in our culture as Black people, when the boys turn a certain age, the men come and get him and take him away from the mother because she can emotionally manipulate him. But since we don't live in our culture no more, we say what we want to say, do what we want to say. We tear our men down and then wonder why they don't make good husbands and fathers.
That's deep. That's real deep right there. That's really deep, and that's somewhat similar to some of the experiences that I dealt with in relation to the toxicity that I'm dealing with in my family today. This is one of the things, this is one of the reasons why I stand tall and I speak against some of these things that's going on in our community. And I think this is something that's more important than entertainment, than men women relationships, dating, music, entertainment. I think that this is the things that we need to talk about today to help guide these young men just like this and myself through these experiences, and to help give us direction, a template for how to counter some of these relationships with our toxic mothers. Now, I'm not coming on here to bash women, black women at all. I'm coming to highlight some of the things in our community that are detrimental to the development of our children and the relationships that they develop throughout the years. They have to have a pattern of how to navigate mothers like this, because traditionally the mother is the first nurturer of the child. The mother is. Her role is very important to the development of those children. Coming to the stage, my brother, someone who I spoke to for hours upon hours. I did not know who this man was when I was talking to him, but I remember a couple of years ago that I was watching a video. I was like, damn, man, this dude can really sing, man. This dude is really, who is this dude? And then I kind of like disconnected for some time. And then later on, when I was going through this situation with my mom and Bigo and my brother and all this stuff, there was a young man or a man who reached out to me, and he stated that he understood my relationship with my mother, and he understood the situation that I was dealing with. And as we talking, he said his name was No Cash, and I'm like, damn, man, I know this. I didn't seen this dude somewhere before. Lo and behold, I'm talking to the dude that I listened to his video over and over again. I did not know that this was the man that I was talking to. And the man that I'm talking about is brother No Cash. Welcome to the screen, No Cash. Oh, we lost him. Come up again. We lost you, No Cash. We lost you, brother. Must have pushed the wrong thing. Okay, we got him back. There you go. What's going on, bro?
Peace and love. What's going on with you, my guy?
Oh, nothing much. Just waiting on you. How you
Hold
doing?
on. Why is it doing this? Give me 1 second.
Okay.
You can hear me now?
I can hear you.
All right. Now I'm trying to figure out why I can't hear you coming out of my speaker.
Oh. Thank you, Robinson.
Okay.
I can hear you. We can hear you on this side.
Okay, good. I can hear. I'm good now.
So won't you give a brief introduction to how we met and
man, I'm gonna just say to you that as I saw everything transpiring with you, well, with your brother, right? Because I didn't know you. I was attentive to it, and I saw that people had a lot of mixed emotions about what was going on with him on Bigo. Half of Bigo was happy that something happened to him, and they was, gloating and rejoicing in his downfall, and then half of them was concerned and acting like they was caring. but I couldn't find out the truth from listening to them. But as I kept being attentive to the situation, I saw that most people on Bigo that had good mothers, so to speak, nobody has perfect mothers. Parents don't know it all. Nobody's parents have all of the answers. Let's get that out in the air right now. But I saw people had you misconstrued with their perception and their opinions of you and your mother's dynamics. And so as I listened to them on Bigo, you know, reviewing your videos and talking about what you say and what's been going on, I was like, wow, I kind of understand what this guy got going on. And I also understand that most people that he's trying to get through to is not going to understand him. And I don't know whether he know that. I said, but I want to try to get him to know that. But I didn't know how to get in touch with you and your brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really like me or whatever because I was in Brandon Key's agency. So he attacked me, and I didn't know nobody to reach out to try to get at you. So I was like going around on Bigo, and every live that I heard talking about your brother's situation and depicting you in a crazy light, I jumped up on the live and I was going to bat for your situation before I even knew you. And it wasn't that I was going to bat for you. I was going to bat for the misunderstanding that people have had pertaining to you, because I've had the same misunderstandings in my life. And I want to clear that up too. I heard you say something about we not up here to woman bash. A lot of people, right, when they found out I was about to be coming over here to collaborate with you, right, cross promote with you, raise awareness on this situation, they immediately thought that I was going to be coming over here to woman bash for one, talk about black women, and to come over here and bash my mama, right? They got life messed up if they thinking that that's what I was coming over here to do. I was coming over here to do two things. When I got in touch with you, I wanted to let you know that I can resonate with your situation, and I understand what you was dealing with and what you was going through. I wanted to let you know that if you would allow me to, I wanted to collaborate with you and kind of buffer the situation of people misunderstanding you and not understanding the direction the angle you was coming from. And the third thing was to try to get through to your to help you raise awareness on this situation, to get through to your mom so that y'all could have a sit down so that you could do the best thing that you could do for your nieces and nephews and your brother's sake. Because I do, like I said, I dealt with a mother that I would say a toxic mother. I will go ahead and say that, right? And I'm not even gonna try to sugarcoat it and make it sound fly. My mother is not a bad mother. She just had toxic ways, that she was stubborn, that she just did things her way, and it was her way or the highway. I'm not up here to try to compare my mother's to yours. This is not a black woman bashing contest to see who can talk the most shit about their mama. I don't want people to think that that's what we was coming up here to do. But I just wanted to come over here and let you know that I can resonate with your situation. Well, get in touch with you, let you know that I can resonate with your situation. If you needed a listening ear to vent to, I gave you my number, and let's get together and try to see what we can do collectively to help each other, as well as other youth, troubled youth that's going through the situation. And so that's my whole objective for reaching out to you. Not clout chasing, not trying to get on your bandwagon, because I wanted to clear that up too. To all the people on Bigo that was basically saying that I'm trying to clout chase off Kevin. I don't have to clout chase off Kevin. I got over 200,000 subscribers and over 100 million views of my own. I think I got enough clout going on. I just wanted to come over here and let the brother know that he wasn't alone. And a lot of times, people that don't understand your situation or have good mothers, not that their mothers are perfect, not that their mothers don't make mistakes and you know that they don't fall short. But when they have a mother that's striving and and diligently in there with them, they can't fathom somebody else talking about their own mother, even if they don't like say for instance, if we're talking about our bad experiences with our mother, somebody with a good mother can't fathom us talking about a mother, because all they hear is, why is he talking about his mom like that? They
Right.
can't really get into the situation with you and identify and have sympathy or what's compassion, if you will. And I just want to say that a little bit too, as far as men. Like, you came on here dealing with your situation, and you came on YouTube trying to find a way to create an avenue and a voice for yourself to speak out on the situation. And people immediately begin to scrutinize you and talk about you and go upside your head for you trying to talk about your experiences and trying to help things to bring awareness to a situation that's really a dire situation. And so it just, man, it rubbed me the wrong way to see all of what you was going through. And I just wanted to reach out to you. I didn't know how to. And then I gave up. I said, I'm gonna leave him this comment on his YouTube channel though, just to let him know I see what he's doing and keep fighting the good fight. And I didn't know you was gonna reach out to me after that. But I just wanted to say I'm glad that you did. I didn't expect to come over here and grace your platform and with any kind of content. I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know, bro, you're doing the right thing for your brother's sakes. You're doing the right thing as far as God is concerned, the righteous thing. And a lot of times people just don't understand it because nobody wants to step up to the plate and do their shadow work. Everybody like to sweep stuff under the rug. And so I wanted to get to you and let you know what you're doing was a very honorable thing. Standing in the gap for your brother. Not so much against your mother, but your brother's in the hands of your mother. So yes, you're trying to do what's right where everybody is concerned. And I saw that. And so
And I
I
appreciate that.
felt that, huh?
I said, and I
What?
appreciate that too. I
So I felt the
appreciate
need to
that.
just, I felt the
We
need because
talk.
everybody else was kind of scrutinizing you. I saw women on Bigo basically taking how you were feeling and what you was doing out of context. And I got it. I understood it. So I would go in everybody live that I saw misconstruing what you were doing and saying. And I would go up in there and I was speaking up for your situation before I ever left you to comment. And I
Right.
felt like that was my way of trying to, help steer people's perception of you and what you were doing. And so then when it got to the point where, as though I saw it was just a losing battle over there, because most people was just, they're so unattached from a situation like yours till they couldn't draw an educated hypothesis about what you had going on. So I said, let me go leave this man a comment and let him know I can feel what he's going through and just keep doing what he's doing. And so, bro,
And
go
a
ahead.
lot of people don't realize the uphill battle it is dealing with toxicity when it comes to your mother being a toxic person, because traditionally a lot of people frown upon people who speak about mothers because there's a minority of us who experience that level of toxicity and where we recognize that it's wrong, some of the things that has been done throughout this
Well,
time.
I'm gonna add to what you're saying, but it's not just about mothers. It's another
Yeah,
mission that I'm on at a later date, but it's about women, period. See, in the world that we live in, if a man is not taking care of his child and he walk away from his baby's mother, what do we call him, Kevin?
a deadbeat.
All right, we know what to call him. We got names for him. We put him on the scale, and when everybody talk about what they went, when the woman talk about what she went through with the deadbeat, or say a father that did something wrong to her, mistreated her, or did some things to her that was not right. When a woman come up here and speak about things like that, everybody is in favor and understanding and compassionate for the woman.
Mhm.
But when a man comes up, they think men don't have feelings. Now, women are emotional creatures and they deal off feelings and emotions. We do know that. Men deal off of reasoning and logic, but we still have feelings. So what that
Right.
says is that when we go through things as young men and boys that was traumatizing in our life, and we bottle it in because we was told as men don't cry and men don't this and that. So when we get it to an old enough age to where as though it's time to vent and talk about some of these things, it don't sit well on the ears of most, not just women, men too. We'll be called trick A niggas, like bitch ass niggas. Let's just call it what it is, bitch ass niggas, because we out talking about women or talking about your, say if you in a relationship with your girl and you're going through something with her and you talking about your girl, you can't even do that. If your sister is doing some things that you feel like your sister's going down the wrong road and you caring about her and you want to try to put some straightening on it, you can't even come out and talk about that, because as a man, we're looked down and frowned upon. But
Right.
that's wrong, because little young men, and that's why I chose to do this with you, not for you and me per se, because we're grown men and
Yeah.
we've gotten through the adversities and the struggles that we had to face dealing with whatever type of mother that we have, right? But there's some youth, kids all around the globe. And I shared this with you when I talked to you. I said, when I first put up the 2 videos of my mom on my YouTube channel, when I was striving to reach out to people that could understand what I was going through, that can find some logical and reasonable ways to help me get through it other than cussing and fussing and drama, that's when I put the videos up on my mom. And when I put those videos up, bro, a lot of people did not understand me. People immediately went to judging me, going upside my head. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is crazy. But then I had to sit back and detach myself from the situation and understand that most of these people love their mom to death. And guess what, bro? I love my mama to death. Let me clear the record right here by saying that. Me coming up here to help you talk about toxic mothers doesn't mean that I don't love my mama. All right. And I can speak for you when I say that. That don't mean that you don't love your mama, because you up here dealing with the adversities of what we got to deal with.
Yeah, because part of loving people that people miss is correcting, rebuking. And it's frowned upon. It's frowned upon when it's coming from a son, because you feel like that's your mother. If she's wrong, let her correct her wrong. But what if she can't correct her wrong? What if she's doing things that's harmful
and not if what if she can't correct her wrong, period. I don't care if we're in a perfect home, right? Mothers and fathers are supposed to teach the kids and raise and rear the kids, because that's the problem. A lot of us was being raised. You don't raise human beings. You raise cattle. You raise dogs, fat dogs. But you rear children. Right. And my thing is, people who have been reared correctly in proper homes with mother and father, they understand that it's their job to parent those kids, but they also understand that the kid has a voice as well. If you're raising your kids and teaching them right from wrong, why can't your kids say something right to wrong to you? If you're doing something wrong, why can't your child call you on the wrong that you're doing? You're teaching this child right from wrong. Right. So I think that dynamic is kind of warped, because parents are telling us what to do all the time and wanting us to get it right. But when we see where parents go wrong, be it mother or father, we should be able to tell them where they're going wrong too, especially if we got facts and proof.
Let me add something to that. We spoke about this earlier, where the Bible says, train up a child in the way in which they are to go, and they'll never depart from it. One of the things that I've stressed to people over and over again, when the Bible talks to individuals that accept the Bible, they have to understand that the Bible is speaking about a select group of people. It's a targeted audience. It's not to everybody. So when Ephesians talking about children, obey your parents in the Lord, that's a difference, because they should have been trained and reared in the ways of the Lord. Thereby, you won't have these constraints that we have when it comes to morality and what's right, because you wouldn't need to correct your parents if they had the laws of God, because they taught you. They taught you. So I just don't understand how people can take a scripture and apply it to their lifestyle when they don't live by the constructs of that of those laws that was given to a select people. It was given to God's people who understood his laws. And they
People
trained
use
and reared
scripture.
their children up in those things of God. So we go
People
around
use
correcting things. We go around correcting things whereby these things would not exist if they were trained into those ways. Like you can't even discipline somebody unless they've been trained. I was in the military for 9 years. We went through training first. They're not just going to discipline you and you don't have no training.
and they're not going to place too much responsibility on y'all as soldiers who ain't even soldiers yet until they train y'all to become a soldier.
Right.
So I get it. And now what I want to add to what you're saying with that, because that's a touchy topic with me. Like I explained to you when we on the phone, I've been dealing with this. I'm older than you, right? And people don't know this because I'm a little guy. People, they look at me like I'm young or whatever, but I'm an older guy. And I've been going through with this situation, dealing with the adversities with my mother, right? Ups and downs, right? Ever since I was young. But then I got a teenager and I was standing in the gap for my sister and me, for talking to my grandmother and my grandfather about my mom and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they would use the Bible on me. They would always tell me, son, but that's your mama, and you got to honor your mama now. Honor your mother, or the days upon this earth will be short. And I'm like, okay, I get that. I understand that, granddad and grandmama. But they didn't never go. I had to go in that Bible for myself and read and find where it says, parents train up a child in the way that they should go, and that child will not part from those ways, right? Okay. And then it also says, provoke parents, provoke not your child to wrath. It says that. So I tell people this all the time, and I told people at an early age, at 21, 22, it's even in my song. And did you got that song? Because I kind of want to let them hear that. But
I played it at the introduction.
Oh, you played it. Cool. That's good. I'm glad you let them hear it. Because even in that song, right, I was letting people know even back then that you cannot place more responsibility on children than you do on the parents. And if we do it the right way, the way God say do it, it says parents rear up the child, right? Okay, so I tell people all the time, and I used to tell my grandmama this: if the parents rear up the child in the way that it should go the right way, you won't have a child that's going astray. Not many. And if they did go astray, it was on their own reconnaissance. It was on, they made a choice to do that. They knew better. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times when they say, honor your mother and thy father, and thy days upon your days upon this earth will be longer, they use that out of context as if the child is just, they use it out of context. And so I like to tell people, if parents do their job with raising the child up right, you will have a child that's walking a fine line. No, that child won't be perfect, just like you ain't perfect. But you will have a child that at least respects you, have morals and values and standards, if you do what God told you to do first as the parent. But now, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, I tell people, if you show me a child that's disrespectful or a child that's unruly and disobedient, I'll show you a child that wasn't reared right, a child that parents let them down. Period.
Real quick, let me add to that also. Another thing is that we have to be aware of the fact that a lot of people take out of context the word of God because they haven't been taught properly, right? And that's one of my biggest contentions with people who use scripture to validate a position that they have when it comes to a title, because we know that all mothers is not the same. All mothers are not the same. Some of them deal with different challenges in life. We go through the mindset of thinking that every mother, every father is perfect, and they haven't had traumatizing experiences in their life, which has permeated throughout their life to their children. Because what you, even as a mother, what you eat feeds your children. What nutrients come in your body from the foods that you eat goes into your children. So how much more when they come in this psycho development, that when you're feeding them your negativity, when you feeding them these things that's wrong, why don't we think that that would cause a reaction or a result that would be negative and
Not only
continue?
should we think, that that would cause something negative, bro. When you feed in them, okay, I'm gonna share something with y'all, and this is just truth. All right, this is a story, but y'all gonna understand what I mean. My mama taught me how to lie, and I'm gonna tell y'all how I remember it. Nobody can tell this story for me like how I remember it, because it's so vividly in my past. I remember it so vividly in my past. It took a long time for me to get over it. I was like in middle school before I got over what this story that I'm about to tell y'all. But I was going to preschool. This is how long ago this was. You know, like how when you go into kindergarten and you got to take that test, that I think it was if you pass the test, you get out of school early. And if you flunk the test, you got to stay in school the whole day, right? My mama knew this. I didn't know this. And she knew I was very smart. But she didn't want me to get out of school early. She wanted me to stay in school a whole day, which helps her schedule and helps her, which is fine. But she knew that if I took my behind in that kindergarten class and passed that test, that I was going to be coming home early. So she put the fear of God in me for 2 to 3 days before I went to school. She said, you better not pass that test when you go in there. When you go in there, you better get these answers wrong, or else I'm gonna tear your behind up. She threatened me real good, right? And in my mind, I'm like, man, I don't want to get no beating behind getting the test right. Bro, she scared me so good when she took me to the kindergarten class and dropped me off in there and I took the test. I was so scared till I aced the test, bro. I tried to flunk the test and was so scared till I aced the test. Now, as I reflected back on that, as a child, I didn't understand why my mama wanted me to get it wrong when she knew that I could do it right. But then when I got older, like 4th, 5th, 6th grade, and I kept thinking back on that, I felt like she was doing me wrong. It was like mistreatment to me. But then as I put the dots together, I was like, oh, all my mother wanted to do was make me stay in school longer. But in order for her to do that, she had to get me to work with her on it, which is flunk the test, tell a lie. That act right there taught me how to tell lies. So the point which you was making was, if parents don't watch how they're conducting themselves around their kids, the ways that they speak and talk, their ways of actions, it's going to rub off on the kids, not to mention DNA and things of that nature, that we just like our parents, regardless to whether you raise up around them or not. You're going to be like somewhat like your parents regardless. So go ahead, my brother.
Let me say something real quick. Hey, to my moderators, make sure you getting all these negative ass people out of here. Okay? If you see somebody making these negative ass comments, get them out of here. Ban them.
Go bye-bye.
I'm not gonna deal with none of that shit in here tonight. We talking about real shit that kids need to hear, and people that are living under these conditions, that some people don't have direction in their life. Let me tell you this: to honor, when you say honor thy mother and thy father, what do honor mean? Honor means to hold in high esteem and high regard. How can you hold somebody in high esteem and high regard who is disrespectful, who teaches you to steal, who teaches you to lie? And we have mothers out here like that. That is a toxic mother. That's what we're talking about today. That's the reason why my brother is dealing with the situation that he's dealing with, because it's toxic mothers like that that keep us confined to a mindset, that keep us dejected, keeping us in a state of mind where we feel like we can't do no good, and we under control of these people who are negligent. And I'm not going to allow people to come in here and make fun of people. You shut your mouth and get out of here if you don't mean well. This is the black community, and we need to hold in high esteem morality and decency when it comes to our women. We hold
And
the
it's funny
standard here, black men.
it's funny you
This is
say that
the stuff
about
we need to be talking about right now.
it's funny you say we're black, right? And race has really nothing to do with it. But what I will say is this: back in the days, black mothers was so much of mothers till they was mothering Caucasian women's children. They was breastfeeding
Oh yeah,
Caucasian women's
yeah,
children.
sure
They
was,
were they were rearing up
sure was,
master's child.
sure
Okay,
was.
that's how
That's
good of mothers that black women were. So how did we go from that to where we are today? And I'm not talking about just my mother and your mother. Let's not act like we don't open up the news and see these mothers. That's Susan Smith put her kids in the car and drove them off in the river and killed them. The other lady that TV killer just told me about, I didn't even know she did it, put her kids in a damn oven.
in a damn oven. Hold on, no cash. Let me say this. I've heard women who told me personally that they were groomed for pastors to sleep with them. And they mama told them, you better not come home unless you go out on a date and bring me back some money. You better not come home. I'm not letting you in. We talking about teenagers.
Hmm.
You go hold in high regard a mother like that? Because see, when y'all get to that judgmental shit, that's when you go wrong. And
Fact.
that's the single reason why these kind of women continue to create toxicity within our community. So right now, before we go any further, no cash, let's define toxic. A toxic person.
Okay,
I
I'm gonna
want you
tell
to
you
see.
before you give them the politically correct answer, I'm gonna just tell you and them what I view as toxic. And mothers, let's just clear the air. Mothers are not the only people that can be toxic. We just happen to be talking about toxic mothers today. Okay,
That's what we're
you
talking
have
about today.
toxic men in relationships.
We gonna get to that too. No cash.
That's right. We got toxic men in relationships. We got toxic girlfriends in relationships. And we even have toxic children at times.
Oh yeah.
But today, we talking about what is toxicity. Okay, to me, my definition, not Webster's definition of a toxic person, is someone who's, when it comes to the dark secrets and the dark truths about their lives that only they know, not the perceptions and opinions of others, the ugly truth, the dark truth that you know about yourself, the shadow work that needs you to put your hands on it and do something about it, which means repent from it, work it out, get it right, do it another way. When you keep sweeping that kind of stuff under the rug and not doing the work that you know needs to be done, that's going to create a bigger mess for you to deal with later, and that will create a toxic person, whether it's a mother or whomever. So when people don't deal with the dark sides of their life, the ugly truths about themselves that they know needs to be changed, and they overlook it, that creates toxicity to me.
Absolutely. And since let's expound on this word from a technical standpoint, because I'm not going to assume that I'm a professional, that I'm a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but I like to define terms and get professional references who can validate my stance, because a lot of us go around here and we think we find, like, I thought I was okay. I felt good when I went, but I was having headaches, right? And it wasn't until I went to a doctor that the doctor had informed me that I had high blood pressure. So if we're not identifying through professionals, through the information and through testing, we cannot validate where we stand. And I did not know how important it is to have a counselor And I'm gonna tell you this: if you're dealing with some of the similarities of what we're talking about tonight, make sure you get a counselor. Make sure that you're reaching out to get the information that you need from a professional. Don't just base it on your mindset of what you think is normal. Things that's abnormal, sometimes they just don't feel right and you don't have an answer for it. But sometimes we neglect the information that's available to us. And it wasn't until yesterday that I started to research some of this information that I was getting from a professional person that talked about narcissistic parents. And I said, damn, you know what we miss out on in the Black community? I feel like we walk around here misdiagnosed, undiagnosed. We never go out and try to reach out. We normalize things that are evil and wicked.
And when that happens, Kevin, not to cut you off,
something is wrong.
Not to cut you off, but when that happens, that's when we as people have become toxic ourselves, right? And now you don't know nothing else to do but that. You don't know how to encourage, empower, uplift, motivate. You just rubbing off on people. That's exactly what's happening, Kevin. You're right, bro.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna bring up this technical definition to help us to understand what is the technical definition of a toxic person.
Right? What's the definition?
Yeah, what their definition is. Okay, so let's see if we can merge this and validate it as a statement of that could be accepted. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this open like this. Can everybody see that? Can you see that?
I can.
Okay, so the definition.
You want me to read it?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
A toxic person is someone who is harmful or poisonous to others, either physically or emotionally. They may be manipulative, controlling, and or abusive, and often create a negative or hostile environment for those around them. Toxicity in people is not a mental disorder, but it may be a result of their own stresses and traumas.
Absolutely. So that's the technical definition of a toxic person. Okay. And it clearly states that they are manipulative and controlling, and they are abusive. They often create a negative or hostile environment. That's what we want to superimpose on, because they're not people who just affect themselves. They are people who infect the whole environment, because it's a poisonous thing to be a toxic person. If you go into a toxic area, they warn you. There are warning signs that this is a toxic area. And it's a
hold on.
Area.
And to add to that, Kevin, anything that's poisonous, this is what I missed, but I'm catching it right now as we talking about it. Anything that's poisonous is contagious. It'll rub off on somebody else. If I get into poison ivy and I come and touch you with my poison ivy, you get poison ivy.
Absolutely.
So the toxic traits that we as people, because it ain't just mothers, and I want to clarify that, but we talking about mothers today. But toxic people, their toxic ways and their toxicity tends to rub off on people around them, directly and indirectly. Kids learn how to talk trash and cuss and be vindictive and manipulative if they got that type of mother, just from watching their mother do this stuff.
Absolutely.
And so we have to be mindful of, the things that we inspiring our kids to do. And then when that very same child get up in age, you want to chastise them and talk bad about how they are, but you don't consider you had a hand in on their upbringing. Absolutely. You are a large part of the reason why. Listen, I got kids, man. When I don't have kids, my kids are grown, and they look at me on Bigo and they don't understand that. When I don't talk about my kids much, because my kids are grown, and what I do with my kids is a real life situation. Like, I talk to my daughter all the time about her relationships. She's with the guy that she lived with. I'm a father in her life, fathering that situation, giving her advice. A father's not somebody who you just call to get money from. and financial help. A father is somebody who you can get advice from on how to deal with life according to how your father came up. So with my kids, that's exactly what I do. And I was raised with my mother telling me things like, and I'm gonna talk about this real fast because that's what people clown me about. They say he homeless and he live on his mama couch. He sleep on his mama couch. You're lying. I got a room at my mama house and there's a bed there. I'm not sleeping on the couch unless I choose to, okay? But that's not important. What's important is I want to clear the air. A lot of y'all got things misconstrued, and I don't care what y'all think about me. Hell, I told y'all I'm homeless. I told the world I'm homeless. I went to YouTube as a homeless man, and I didn't have to do that. Okay? So now, let me clear the air for y'all. I don't live with my mother. Out of my clothes is at my mother's house. All right, that's what's there, my clothes. But out of the run of a month, I may spend 4 or 5 nights in my mother's house out of 30 days because I'm always right now. I had to pull over to do this interview with you because I'm in Greenville, South Carolina, working hard to change my situation. I don't got a daddy to help me. I ain't never had a daddy in my life. My mama don't really have it to help me with. She let me keep my stuff at her house, and that's a big enough help for me there. So when I tell people that I'm at my mom's house, that don't mean that I'm staying there all the time. That don't mean that I'm eating off my mama. That don't mean that my mama's taking care of me. Now, I'm not trying to lighten the situation either. I stay with my mother because my mother needs me. I know that it's once a man and twice a child. Okay? And my mother is going into her second childhood. And not only, and her toxicity, let me just clear that up. Her toxicity had gotten better, a little better down through the years. But guess why? Me being there, putting a little straightening on her, being able to speak truth to power. She is my mother and she has power over me. But if I'm speaking righteousness and truth to her, I overrule in. Righteousness prevail over all, okay? So just because she's my mother, if she's doing wrong and I'm speaking righteousness to her about the wrong that she's doing, I trump that. The child trump, I don't give a damn how you look at it. And that's what most people don't understand when we're talking about this situation. Because as mothers and fathers, when you hear people talking about what they've experienced with their mother or their father, you begin to reflect back on yourself and say, can I have done that? Or am I that type of person? And the truth of the matter is, when you evaluate yourself, you may be a toxic mother. You may be a toxic father. But here's the thing. Being toxic is not that bad unless you stay toxic. If you identify the toxicity and do something about it and strive to do something about it, you can make a difference in your life and the people around you. But if you do, like I said in the beginning, if you sweep it up under the rug and act like you got it all figured out and your life is hunky-dory and you the best parent that you can be, you're going to be sadly mistaking yourself and your kids is going to grow up one day and tell you the ugly truths about the situation that you was hiding. And you're going to be mad at the child for speaking out because they're doing other than what you did. They're not joining you with sweeping stuff under the rug. They want to clean out from under the rug. They want to clean up the house and get this thing nice and clean, mama. And I'm going to start on it. And mamas or parents don't want to do that at that age in their life. But guess what? We never should stop learning. As human beings, whether you're a parent or not, you should never stop learning. And I'm learning. I do teach my kids, right? I got a 19-year-old son, a 21-year-old son, a 23-year-old daughter, and I got 3 grandkids. And I teach them all. I love them to death and teach them. But guess what, bro? I learn from them too.
Right.
And I think parents don't get that. It's a parent and children, it's an interaction. We teach each other. It's like they're raising us, but they're teaching us how to raise. The better parents are in your life, it teaches you how to be a better parent. And I'll say this too. Even when you don't have good parents, it still teaches you how to be a good parent, because I never had a dad. And people will say, how could you be a good dad when you didn't have a good example? Yeah, that's tough. But one thing I can say is you learn what not to do. because when my dad wasn't there, I knew what I was lacking in my life, right? I knew what I desired in my life. So as a father, I tried to be that for my kids. Now, all my life I was told, as black people, we've been told by mothers and fathers too, when you get 18, you're gonna get out my house. Or when you get old enough, you're gonna get out. I think that's some of the craziest things that they laughing at me for sleeping on my mama's couch or being at my mom's house. But what they fail to realize, I don't have to be at my mom's house. I'm there to try to do the greater good thing. Don't you know how easy it is to run these damn streets? It's easy to neglect mom and to neglect kids. It's easy to leave somebody and not deal with a situation. I chose to stay, help my mom, help her through what she got going on. Like, she even got sicknesses and stuff. Now I had to understand her too. And as
And
I
that's
gotten older, I didn't understand it early on and younger, but as I
and
got
that,
older, I understand that she got other issues that she's dealing with that maybe I need to be a little bit more understanding about her as well. But that still don't stop me from putting straightening and correction where there needs to be.
and that's honorable. A lot of people don't understand that even Jesus didn't even have a place to stay.
Talk your stuff.
Them super
Talk your
fat.
stuff.
And look at how many people he helped out.
Hmm.
The greatest
Sometimes
man that ever lived was homeless, didn't even have a place to lay his head. So before we go too far with this, I want to get into the 7 types of toxic people and how to spot them, because this is for educational purposes. This is for the young men and young women. Like you said, you 40, what, you 45, I'm going on 45. I'm 44 now. So I didn't escape in so many ways that the trauma from my childhood and trying to continuously try to build and rebuild relationships with my mother. And I'm not saying that I ever gave up. It's a part of the process of loving people is perseverance and just holding them accountable for their behavior and not getting involved in things that you know is wrong. I'm not going to accept wrong as right. The Bible says, woe to them who say evil is good and good is evil.
mm, mm,
I don't want
mm.
destruction on myself because I'm permitting you to be a toxic perfect person and regurgitate that toxicity into my life, into my children. That's where the generational curses start.
Facts. And if you don't address mothers, the reason why it's good for you, people like you and I, to speak up and out and raise awareness is because if you don't speak up and help with your situation, even with your own mom and what you're doing, what's going to happen is going to trickle down to your kids. And if they
Absolutely.
don't do nothing with it, it's going to trickle down to your grandkids. And nothing is going to happen until somebody stands up and do something about it. And so that's why it's so significant that we do this now. It's not to try to get back at our mothers or to exploit our mothers. It's putting when our mothers tell us what right from wrong and tell us about things that we're doing wrong, is they being wrong to us, or they love us, or they're trying to love us in the way to get our life right?
Say that again.
I said, when our mothers tell us right from wrong and hold us to a higher standards and higher regards, is that a negative thing or a positive thing?
That's a positive thing.
Absolutely. So why is it not positive when you do the same thing back to your mother or your father?
Because they feel that the title supersedes the right or wrong.
And that's false.
That's the reason, right? That's the only reason.
You're right.
That we can circumvent what's right and wrong, because you my mama and you my daddy, so I gotta go along. I just watched the show that was on Facebook, and me and my wife was talking about it, where a stepdad had found out that his daughter was not really his daughter. She was 16 years of age. Her biological daughter came back, and he was a sex offender. But he took his daughter in with his girlfriend. Did you know that this nigga was in here sleeping with his biological daughter?
Boy, get the fuck out of here.
Yes, he was sleeping with his biological daughter. And his girlfriend found out. It's on the internet right now. That's her biological. You telling me I'm supposed to honor my father and my mother?
No, you only honor things that are honorable. That's it. And that's what people misconstrue about that scripture. Honor thy mother and father. They got to be mother and fathers first. They can't be deadbeat dads and toxic mothers. They got to be mothering their children the correct way and fathering their children the correct way. That's it.
The biological dad, was sleeping with his daughter.
That's
And
sad, bro.
And the stepdad was upset. He was the one that was upset. And the daughter came out and told him, yeah, I apologize. Look, and check this out. This what really hurt me. Me and my wife was watching this today. The girl was a virgin. And the first person she slept with was her biological.
God. Now, see, as we talking about this, even to you and me, it don't even sit well on our ears. It's like, wow. And so, but you have to talk about things like this. You can't do God's work under the table anymore. I told you this a little bit over the phone. How I feel like we as God's people, we do God's work under the table, man. Even when it comes to dealing with pedophiles, back in the day, grandmama and them knew the man that was a pedophile, but nobody wouldn't speak up and call him out on it. They'll just get the kids. They'll say, get these kids in his house out there. Johnny out there. Come on, get them kids in out there. Johnny out there around there. Because Johnny out there. But they don't never expose Johnny the way that they should. They don't speak up and say, he'll touch them kids. And then when the kids get old enough to talk about Johnny, those same older people that been sweeping Johnny under the rug are scrutinize the young man or the young woman that is telling the truth on Johnny. You know, saying Johnny running around out here trying to holler at me. The elders in the family, I ain't gonna say they'll protect Johnny, but that's kind of what they're doing when they don't speak up and expose Johnny. And so what I'm saying is I don't want to continue failing the youth in that way.
Let me say something.
Go ahead.
Let me say something. Because I need to say this. One of the most insidious, harmful things to our community is the fact that young ladies and young men are scared to speak out about this. That's what's harmful. That's why I said that I don't care what nobody say in the comment section. I don't care what nobody talking about with me and my mama's relationship. I don't give a damn. For us to come out here and speak about this matter. We're not talking about sports. We're not talking about Cardi B and Beyonce and what they wearing in the next concert and or
drugs and guns.
Drugs and all that. What we talking about is something that's harming our community, that children are afraid to speak out about. Some of these things are norms to these children. And it's harmful to our community. You know why? Because those kids are going to grow up and they're going to be somebody's parents. And what you made a norm that was toxic is going to be a continuum in our community's degradation.
Facts.
And destruction.
Facts.
And that's the reason why I'm dealing with this situation right now.
Me too. That's why I came over to help you.
Because nobody came and checked that behavior. There's no man to check. Notice, with these two individuals, there's no man in there. Listen, that's wrong. Because you know a man is rational, like you said. A woman
reasonable and logical.
Yes. So you need a man in there to say, hey, listen, that's wrong. Look, you going too far. Calm down. Get off social media. Stop.
Now hold on. Let me say this. I want you to read that thing for them that I told you about when I said God knew how women would be in the last days. Read that again. I know you prayed it on the thing, but read that scripture for them so they can understand that this ain't just you and our words. I shared this with you and you understood it immediately. And
right now.
And that's our duty as righteous, upright men. I don't care if it's your mama. I don't care if it's your sister. I don't care if it's your grandmama. See, if grandmama needs you to lift something or to help her do things, you're going to help her. Whether it's your strength, your mental, or what. So you should be able to help them in any way, bro. But that Bible told us as men something. And I want you to read that to the women so they can understand that men that speak up and out are not bad people and they're not bashing. They're doing what thus says God told strong men to do. And the men that are not doing that, right? They're just doing whatever it takes to suit women's fancy to get whatever they.
That's right. But then you got a man that's coming up and saying, hey, this is wrong. And confronting the issue, it's a problem. Not to me, because I'm bold. The Bible says come bold. I don't care what nobody say. I'm gonna come out here and tell you the truth. And I don't know how long the truth is gonna come to the conclusion, but the Bible said consider the conclusion of a matter, not the beginning. That's why some of y'all get in these bad relationships, because you go by where you start. He look good. He drive a nice car. He got a good job. He sound real good.
And all that shit ain't gonna treat you.
Conclusion of the matter. If you consider the conclusion of a matter, you'll think more intently on your decision and who you bring into your home.
Facts.
So what my brother No Cash is talking about is Ezekiel chapter 13, verse 17. Likewise, thou son of man. He said, son of man. He said, son of man. Set
and it reads,
thy face against the daughters of thy people, which prophesy out of their own heart, and prophecy thou against them. And those are the steps that we are taking today.
That's right. And it says, get into the face. Set your face upon these women. That means you might have to get face to face with your mama and say, Ma, no, this ain't right.
That's right.
You might have to get face to face with your old lady and say, now look here, baby, over my dead body, I can't let you do this. But you're doing it out of love.
That's right.
And if the man didn't tell you to don't do a dangerous thing that he knows is detrimental to you, then that man, my sweetheart, don't care about you. He don't care about you.
You know what?
Go ahead.
Let me expound on that point. Let me tell you where the problem started. When you go to Color Purple, the movie, who introduced the man to Celie? Who introduced him?
Her parents.
Father.
Yeah.
The father knew we know what kind of man our daughter should be with. We know. Back in the day, they used to have shotgun marriages. Back in the day, the daddy was picking who the woman be with. You know what the problem is today? Women picking these men. And they ain't got no daddies there.
Facts.
The daddy know what kind of man. I know what kind of man that should be with my daughter.
And watch this, Kevin. Kevin, I'm glad you referred to Color Purple, because a lot of people don't even understand that movie. But as you analyze that movie, and if you look at on the surface, you'll think Celie had a bad life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you stand back and look and go deep, do you remember when Nellie taught Celie how to read and all of that? And they all knew, everybody was saying how Mr. had this big old thing and all he wanted to do is just get up on down on her and hump up on her and all this good stuff. So she was complaining about certain things, not Celie, this Nettie. And Nellie didn't want Celie to be there with Mr. Right? Nellie thought she could rescue Celie from the situation with Mr. You remember after she taught her sister and all that and the sister left, why didn't Celie leave with Nellie? I'll tell you why. Celie was happy with the quality of life she fucking had. She was in a house. She had food. Mr. wasn't broke. Mr. had a juke joint. He had land. He had tractors and shit. All the women around didn't have men like that.
Right.
They ain't had good. Suge Avery was jealous of Celie. Why? She was jealous of Celia's life. Celia could live with Mr. with no problem, but Mr.'s daddy did not like Suge Avery. Why he didn't like Suge Avery? She was a juke joint going whoremongering, whatever. Celia she was ugly. She may be ugly. She may be black, but guess what? She had a good life, and that's what most people missed about the whole damn movie.
Well, let's make this disclaimer. She had a good life as far as material, and she was taken care of, but emotionally she was deprived because that man was a wicked ass man.
Facts.
He was abusive.
Facts.
Now I'm not go cast no light on that because that was just
I'm not making him right. I'm giving Celie her props. Yeah. I'm saying, see, Celie could have took off running with the sister.
Because the very things that Mr. had is the very things that women look for today in a man. Stability.
Facts.
All those things. But he wasn't a good man.
No, he was controlling and manipulative. He was toxic. He was narcissistic.
That was an abusive man. Yes, he was.
He said, I fix that mailbox so I know if you touch it. Yep. But he was lying. That was manipulative.
Mm-hmm.
So I get what you're saying, bro. It's like when we create dialogue and stories, because Jesus taught using parables. A parable is nothing but a short story. When we are here teaching, man, we need to make sure that we at least make an attempt to try to tell people right from wrong. A lot of times when you are closest to the problem, you are the most qualified and certified and verified to bring solutions to that problem. A lot of times when people can't identify with the problem at all, they're making an uneducated hypothesis about the problem because they don't understand it. And that's what people are doing to you when you came out. That's what people were doing to me when I first came out. I'm not coming out with my mom. I'm still working with my damn mama. And guess what? It is tough. Okay. I'm going to just be honest with you. I ain't here to bash my mama. We doing great together and she's progressing. But just 3 weeks ago, my mama know I don't steal, but she accused me of stealing her money and I wasn't even at her house. I walked in the door. I wasn't there for 25 minutes. But because she couldn't find her money and I was the easiest person to just name the blame on, she created this big old situation, cussed me out, told me I'm about to get my shit and get out and all this kind of stuff. So I took her money and I didn't take offense to it, but I'm like, why I didn't take your money, ma? You know I ain't took your money. 4 days later, she apologizes to me. After all the craziness, calling around, scrutinizing me, she comes up to me and says, son, I'm coming to you to tell you I apologize because I found my money. And I just want to let you, I wasn't going to let it linger around and not tell you that I found it. I'm sorry. Now watch this. I accepted her apology, but does that make everything all right, Kevin? And does that mean she won't come back and make me a thief the next time she lose something? So when she apologized to me, I took that moment to create dialogue with her. I said, Mom, next time, take accountability for you losing your money. You can't say somebody stole something that you lost. You can't say somebody stole something that you being careless with. And when you come and apologize to me about it, apologies don't make it right by itself. Apologies has to come with changed behavior, which means after you apologize to me, you don't so easily offend me and accuse me of stealing again. Right. But a lot of times, man,
that's what an apology is a changed set of behaviors. It's not just saying I'm sorry. That's not good enough. If
I slap you, if I come in the house to my girlfriend, if I slap my girlfriend and say, oh, my bad, baby, I'm sorry, I ain't meant to do that. And then I come next week and slap the shit out you again, talking about, oh, I'm sorry. No, you ain't sorry. You intentionally doing this. You ain't even changing your behavior when you say you sorry. if I'm truly sorry, I won't do that to you again.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, man, go ahead, talk some. You talk.
Okay, so real quick, I wanted to get into 7 types of toxic people. All right. So I think we can expound on this a little bit. This is just some identifying traits that will help us support what we're saying and what we're trying to deal with here. And I think when I read this, I was like, damn, it is really true. We need to know, people need to know this right here. Right? So
Did I tell you? Did I tell you that when I was 9 years old, my mama told me that she wished she had closed her legs and snapped my neck when I was being born?
Yeah, I heard you say that.
Okay. I just wanted to say that on this live so people can understand it's toxicity. Toxic is different in different people, different levels and different people. So when I say my mom was toxic or toxic, it doesn't mean that she is as toxic as somebody else's mom, but toxicity is toxicity. And when a child is experiencing toxicity, it causes traumas in ways that is the stuff that the child is experiencing. If it's undealt with, if they don't get therapeutic help or counseling, right? Those traumas grow up in them. And like you say, that poison spreads on to other people. That poison, you'll begin to mistreat your own kids because of that. And so, yeah, man, pull out them seven traits.
So this one, we're gonna start with the first one here, and it says, let me get to it. Have you ever been talking to? It's the conversational narcissist. Have you ever been talking to someone who keeps interrupting you? Maybe I should revise that sentence. Have you ever been trying to talk to someone who won't let you get a word in? Conversational narcissists love to talk about themselves or just hear themselves talk. They don't ask you any questions. They don't wait for your responses, and they won't shut up. In a relationship, these people will end up being completely self-centered and will never be attentive to your needs. Have you ever experienced that?
Hey, shit, you preach to the choir. You better ask them in the comments that I experience that all the time. Not just from my mother, but from narcissistic people. That is a very true statement.
Absolutely. And we'll go to the next one. These are identifying toxic people traits. The straitjacket. The straitjacket is someone who wants to control everything and everyone around them. They want to be in charge of what you do, what you say, and even what you think. You know the person I am talking about. They freak out when you disagree with them and won't stop trying to convince you that they are right and you should do what they say. In a relationship, this person will give you no breathing room and will constantly nag you until you are in complete alignment with them. Be careful. These people will go after your emotional, conversational, and mental freedom until you have nothing left. Get out while you can.
My way or the highway is what my mama called it.
We're talking about identifying traits.
Say that again.
We're talking about identifying traits. You need to know this. I know you want to hear about Pastor P, and I know. But Pastor P's a problem is 75% of what we're talking about tonight.
He's a product of these issues. He is a product of these issues.
Absolutely. And then I'm gonna give you a professional view after this. But we gonna go through these 7 because there's a reason why we're doing this.
And keep in mind, y'all, the people in the comment section, it's really not, we're not here really for y'all per se. We're here for the youth. We're here for troubled youth who's going through this or not, right? But they need to know how to deal with this if they come into these type of situations, into these type of traits. It might not be their mother that's toxic. It may be their girlfriend. It may be their girlfriend's mother. But at least after hearing what we're talking about today and creating this dialogue, they'll have some righteous ways of dealing with it.
Amen. Let's go to the next trait. All right. Hold on 1 second. Let me put this on the screen. Give me 1 second. All right. Let's go to the next one. Because I know y'all can see my mama in this. That second one for sure.
Hey, read that comment right there of that person you got pinned up right there.
Okay, hold on. Let me read the highlighted. It says, my mom used to hold onto a grudge even if I disagreed about what kind of grits I like. Even seeking out revenge on me. That's how petty. Separating all the siblings, starting fights between. Yeah, oh yeah.
Damn, do you hear that?
Facts, them super facts right there. That's definitely a toxic trait. Definitely.
Now you see, those are the people who we doing it for, Kevin, right there.
Right. And let's go to the next one. The third one is the emotional moocher. An emotional moocher is also known as a spiritual vampire because they tend to suck the positivity out of you or bleed you emotionally dry. These are the people who always have something sad, negative, or pessimistic to say. In conversations and relationships, they can never see the positive and tend to bring everyone down with them. If you're with someone and they only have bad things to say whenever you see them, watch out. It might not get better.
And let me tell you something. That is so true. And I'm not, like I say, I ain't bashing my mama. This is just facts, man. And I love her to death for this. I'm hearing that. I find myself.
Dang, emotional vampire.
I find myself telling my mama that all the time, right by her own self, not even pertaining to me. It bothers me when she do it in regular old conversation. She could be talking to her friend in person, talking to her friend on the phone, or talking to me even about some stuff. And she always take the negative approach. She always take the pessimistic approach. Even if she's describing to me something that she saw around the corner, like she could come and say she saw the police was around the corner around there. When she tell me, I say, well, what's happening? When she tell the story, it's always over exaggerated. It's always very pessimistic and negatively exaggerated. So when I find out what really happened, I be like, she do it so much till I don't even listen to her explain nothing to me no more. It'd be like, I know I can't take what she say for faith value. Not that she's lying, but she's going to over exaggerate it. And it's going to be like drama filled and negative vibe because she want an interesting story. She feel like the lie is more entertaining. And well, not a lie, but exaggeration is more entertaining. And I tell her a lot, I say, Ma, just keep things like how it is, man. Stop over exaggerating. Stop being so extra. And bro, that what you just read, exactly what I would be trying to say to her.
Yeah. So let's go to the next one. This is the fourth one, the drama magnet. Some toxic people are magnets for drama. Oh my God. Oh my God. Something is always wrong. Always. And of course, once a problem is solved, another one emerges. And they only want your empathy, sympathy, and support. Oh my God. But not your advice. You offer help and solutions, but they never seem to want to fix anything. Instead, they complain and complain. In a relationship, drama magnets are victims and thrive in a crisis because it makes them feel important. If someone is a beacon for adversity, watch out. You might one day become part of the drama. And you seeing me, I'm a part of this drama. I ain't even want to do this. People talking about, oh, well, you just trying to seek out your brother's platform and get it. I didn't want to deal with nobody. What are you talking about? I'm fine going to my kids' basketball games and spending time with my wife. That's what I want to do. I don't want to get out here, but God saw a greater cause in me being out here. God saw
Hey,
that this was gonna manifest.
and I didn't want to be out. I didn't want to help. Can you share with them a little bit? Like, be honest, help me out now, right? So people won't think I just was eagerly to come over here and do this with you. Can you share with them a little bit about how I reached out to you twice to pray for me, and you know how I felt about moving forward with this? Can you expound to the people about it? Because they act like I came over here happily to do this with you.
Yeah, I mean, you did. You reached out to me, and
I asked
you
you to pray for me, bro.
prayed several times, and that was what really made me want to bring you on this platform, because that was the first time that somebody said that I genuinely needed that kind of support, and that you could offer me the help that you was offering me. Out of all the people that I talked to, now there's some people that, don't get it wrong, there's some people that I have spoken with about some very personal matters that I would never regurgitate out in public, and I felt compelled to do what I'm doing now, solely for the fact that I'm able to come out here and express myself without regard to public opinion or scrutiny, right? I came out here for a just cause. And I feel if you go come out here and do the right thing, what is there need to worry about? There's nothing for me to be worried about if I'm doing the right thing. You would want a brother like me if you was in Keith's situation. You would want it. No doubt about it. You can say all the crazy things without no valid proof of it, that you talk about my character and all of this stuff, but I guarantee you this. If your mama was Regina, you want your brother saying with the shit that I'm saying. I guarantee you that. So that's the reason why I appreciate you even coming on. This is the first person that I did that's a co-host on my platform, and we're doing something that's positive, that's centered on the development of our community and helping to guide misled souls. That's why I'm here. Other than that, I wouldn't be out here. I didn't care about notoriety or being in the public eye. This is highly invasive.
And I didn't want to do this either because I got scrutinized heavily. Yeah. I ain't going to talk about it, but it was the devil in major ways coming up against me, trying to get me to not do this. But I say the devil is a liar, and I'm going on anyhow, because all great things that have been accomplished in this life that we live have never been accomplished on the other side of comfortability. Every great thing that has been accomplished and established in this world, it happened on the other side of uncomfortability. And people like to put themselves, like people like to choose the road of least resistance because it's easy to do that. Mm-hmm. But when you want muscles, you got to choose the road of resistance. You got to go where some weight is. You got to lift some weights, do some push-ups. You got to push against some adversity and keep doing it until you get the muscles. And so the problem with people is everybody want muscles, but they don't want to work out. Everybody want to go to heaven, but they don't want to die. You got to put your hands on some things. Like what helps me get along good with my mama is I went through a lot of heartache and pain with women as a result of having trouble with my mama. My mama was the first woman that I liked. I thought my mama was cool, man. She was when I was growing up as a little boy, my mama was the coolest woman that I knew. I wanted to go places with this cool lady. I wanted to identify with this cool lady that my mama was, but she left me with my grandmama. So as a result, when I got old enough, I wanted to go out and find women like that was cool like my mama. And so after I started dealing with women, I got old enough. Nothing really worked. And a large part of why things really didn't work with a lot of the women is because of my dealings with my mother, right? And I'm not blaming my mother. I'm taking accountability for what I've done, but I didn't know better because of the dynamics of the relationship between me and my mother. So after I got married and divorced, I made up in my mind I was going to love me like my wife should have. And I'm never going to have another wife in my life until she loves me like I love me. But then I also said, how can I love a woman who is not my flesh of my flesh and blood of my blood, like my mom is, right? You'll date a woman who will be a headache, get on your nerves, some of the same things your mom can do. If I can go through that with women that are not flesh of my flesh and blood of my blood, then why can't I be there for my mom in these times that we're having right now? Like, it's easy to leave. And that's why I be looking at some of these people that clowning me, talking about he had his mama house. I'm not there because I have to be. I got plenty places I can be. I'm not there now. I'm in another whole damn state. But if they need me, I'm packing up and I'm going back home to my mom, to my son, to my stepdad who's there, to my brother. Because what we fail to realize is a part of the problem with us as in the black community, we lost our villages. And where we lost the villages at is because we think it's about mom and daddy only. We think mom and daddy got it all figured out. The villages is a host of plenty mamas and daddies, aunties and uncles. It's a plethora of people in a village. It's not just mom and dad, because mom and dad can't do it by themselves. And I understand that. So I be there to help my mom and my stepdad in ways that most people say, fuck it, it's easy to get the hell on from around my mama because she get on my nerves anyway. Or she telling me what to do, so I'm going to get on from around her anyway. I just deal with the scrutiny, because if you're going to deal with it in a relationship, why not deal with it in the dynamics of a relationship with your mom? I feel like my mom need me, okay? Now, that's me and my take on it. Some people going to say, well, she had her chance and I'm going to let her figure it out for herself. That's not how I was raised, okay? And so I'm going to be there for my mama even when I find me a woman, right? And I build with that woman again, I'm still going to be there for my mom. And guess what I know? The woman might see the traits in my mama and say, your mama toxic, and your mama do this, and your mama do that, and your mama do this. But she still ain't going to be able to tell me what to do with my mama or for my mama. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm a manly man. And I just want people to understand it's easy for me to leave my mama house or not be there. I'm not there now. But it's hard to stay there and help her through what she's going through. And I'm fit for the job. I want to help people. If I can help girlfriends, friends, why can't I help my mom? That's how I looked at that situation. So I'm there with her to help her. I can't help her as much as I can. If I move and go to Florida like I want to, or if I move and go to Texas like I want to, I can't be there to help my mama. And I think we need these villages back, man. We're falling short as a race of people.
Yeah.
But because we lost the village. It ain't just about mom and dad.
Principles. Yep. Somebody said principles. That's correct. Let's go to the next highlighted thing so I can get through these. It's a JJ. The JJ. A JJ is a jealous, judgmental person. My friends and I can spot a JJ from a mile away, and I want to show you how to as well. Jealous people are incredibly toxic because they have so much self-hate that they can't be happy for anyone around them. And typically, their jealousy comes out as judgment, criticism, or gossip. According to them, everyone else is awful, uncool, or lacking in some way. If someone starts to gossip jealousy about other people, watch out. This might be a toxic person, and you never know what they say about you behind your back.
Facts.
Let's go. This one is another important one that I think that everybody should understand too. In this trait of a toxic mother is or a father, but we're talking about mothers today. It's the fibber. I had a lot of liars in my life before I learned human lie detection. Liars, fibbers, exaggerators. It's exhausting to have a toxic deceiver in your life. Whether they tell little falsehoods or major lies, it's impossible to trust a liar in a relationship. Dishonesty drains us because we are constantly doubting their words. If your intuition is ringing alarm bells, then watch out, get out before you're lied to. And that's one of the things that I'm dealing with today is so many lies surrounding this circumstance that I'm dealing with, these situations that I'm dealing with. And it's overshadowed the main intention, the main purpose that we should be focusing on now, as it relates to the things that's going on to my brother. So now people are superimposed on things that are frivolous, that has nothing to do with this situation, solely because somebody has put out lies to mischaracterize me or to demonize me and make me look a certain way. So it overshadows the things that they are not doing.
Deflect.
I was paying
Deflect.
bills. They're not paying bills. So how they discredit me is they say, well, he beat women and he's abusive and all of this. And people superimpose on something that's not even validated by facts. It's only based on someone saying things that has no credibility and hasn't shown no receipts. So it's definitely a form of deflection. It's a lie that's intended to mislead and characterize somebody and cast a shadow over my life just to create some kind of feeling of justification for the things that they're doing wrong. They're doing this stuff that's wrong. And kids, I'm going to get on here later on so I can put the receipts out to gag everybody once again, because now they're saying that the children were coached. So now I'm going to come out after this live. I'm going to put out the receipts to let y'all see that the children were never coerced into speaking their truth about this matter.
Man, the way them kids, Kevin, the way them kids express themselves on that phone when you was talking to them, whoever coached them had to be the greatest damn coach in the world for them to express how they was expressing like that. And even coached children that you coach to do things don't articulate themselves in the manner that those young girls did. They were speaking from experience. They were speaking from what they have gone through and how they felt about what they gone through. And it wasn't an uneducated hypothesis, because contrary to popular belief and what everybody else was thinking and perceiving, those girls was actually living through that shit.
Mm-hmm.
We can stand back and have an opinion about what we're hearing easily, but nobody knows what the fuck they went through and how they felt going through it, experiencing it. And so when you hear somebody talking about something, okay, if you hear somebody talking about New York after they experienced New York, that's way different from somebody talking about New York that read about New York. If you went to New York, you're going to come back and you may be so vivid about how you saw the skyscrapers and you saw things. But if the person never went to New York, they probably know nothing about skyscrapers. They're going to talk, their descriptions or the depictions is going to be very limited. Those girls' depictions were very vivid. It was actually more than what girls their age should. It was better than what girls their age should have, how girls their age should articulate themselves. And I'm just saying that was proof enough for me. That was proof in the pudding right there.
Yeah. And they actually came out and gave their testimony as to fact. Not, you can't coach somebody into the shit that they were saying. I was taken aback because I didn't even know. I had no idea. And I'm going to prove it tonight for all the naysayers. So that'd be one more thing that we can write off this damn list. But let's
read that comment right there one time for me before you read that little posted comment right there.
Okay, the JJ is definitely how most of my sisters are. This comes from Pink Panther, especially to their children. I believe they are extremely jealous of my nieces and my nephews, and women especially, constantly breaking spirits.
Is that a woman talking?
I believe so.
Talk your shit, Pink Panther. Talk your shit. You're right. I see it a lot too. I see it in other women too being, I think they're jealous of their kids. They'll say they're not though. They'll say it real fast. No, I'm not jealous of my kids. But the advice that they give them, it be of the contrary. That's what I'm saying. It'd be like advice that you would think, damn, why are you telling them that? Like something that you would tell somebody that you're jealous of. You're right, Pink Panther. I agree.
And this, I want to highlight this before we go to the next. Well, since Pink Panther said this, the best decision I ever did was to move far away from my family.
Damn.
That's a good. Let me tell you something. That's a good segue into what I wanted to say tonight, but I didn't know how I would include this, so I'm gonna have to take this down. I'm glad you said that, Pink Panther. I'm glad you said that. I got to take this down, and then I'm gonna pull this up because I think this is imperative for us to understand. This is one of the reasons why I said you had to understand the Bible, right? When you get information, you have to understand it. So then you will get the wisdom out of it. You're not gonna get the wisdom until you understand it, right?
The
So
Bible says, lean not upon your own understanding.
understanding. That's right.
Lean not upon your own understanding. That means you
Right.
got to get a divine, keen, righteous understanding. And so that's it. Just because you think it's right, don't mean it's right.
That's right. So I'm gonna pull this up, which I think is important for people to understand this because this is something that's not highlighted in the urban community as it relates to Abram and why he left his father's home. Okay, because the Bible says, "Come out from among them, be ye separate, touch not the unclean thing, then I'll receive you." So I'm gonna show you why Abram left his father's house according to what this says, which I think is very important for us to understand, right? Because unless we understand this, we not gonna understand why God calls us to leave these environments that's not conducive to his plan for our life. It states here clearly, God called Abram to leave behind his country, his extended family or people group, and his father's household, and to go to an unnamed land which God will show to him. Abram was to leave his pagan culture in order to commit himself to the Lord. There is no way you can stay in an environment which we clearly see that was created based on negative ideology, negative philosophy, and toxicity, and stay there and think that we go grow and develop in a land of paganism and
You can't
negativity.
heal. You can't heal in a place that you was hurt at. You can't heal in the place that you were hurt at. You know, like how a pot, a flower can be in a pot, and whatever's going on in that pot of that flower, it could be affecting that plant, right?
Yeah,
That plant can't get better in this pot. You got to take the plant out of that pot and put it into another environment, and that plant will flourish.
that's right. That's
Okay,
right.
a snake. Teaching moment. Snakes and pythons, snakes can grow big as I don't know what, 7, 8 feet snakes, right? But if you put that python inside of an aquarium, that's a small aquarium, that snake will grow no bigger than the aquarium that you put it in. It'll
That's
stunt
right.
the growth of the snake, and it won't grow as much as it could grow if you put it in a small tank. But if you put it in a big tank, it'll grow. So that's just an example to say kids and people flourish better in healthy environments.
Yes. So you can't survive in an environment that's not conducive to what's righteousness. You're going to breed a spawn of children that are offspring of the devil. The Bible says you know the fruit. You will know the tree by the fruit that it bears. If it bears bad fruit, cut it down. It's not useful for anything. Anybody that eat from that tree is going to be toxic.
And you know, people like to say, don't judge me, or you can't judge me. Only God can judge me. God say you can't judge nobody. I think that's a lie. Because when God say you know the tree by the fruit it bear, that means
That's
I
a
can call
judgment.
this tree a damn orange tree if oranges is on this sucker. I can
Right.
call it a banana tree if bananas is on this sucker. So I can call you a liar if you telling lies. I can call you a thief if you stealing, and I ain't judging you. I'm calling you what it is.
By a righteous standard, because he gives us the evidence of what is the fruits of the flesh and what is the fruits of righteousness. So if it's not, if a tree is is an orange or is an apple tree and it's producing plums, that's not an apple tree.
It's not.
That's not an apple tree. It's
Some
something that's
deception is
not
going on.
natural about what's being produced on this tree. So therefore, I got to call it for what it is. Right? And if you're doing wrong and you bearing bad fruit, you think I'm supposed to sit up here and say, well, that's good fruit right there. They sure didn't say that in the garden. That's why their asses got kicked out. Because they ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. When he told them not to eat from that tree. Eat from all these other trees. But you want to go and eat from that tree. And had Adam been a man that said, get your ass over here. Don't touch that tree and quit talking to that nigga over there. I'd rather he talk to me like that and I'm still in the motherfucking garden. So some people that view that as abuse ain't never dealt with a death situation, a situation that would cause your exile out of the garden. And that's why a lot of us never really make it truly to enjoy the fruits of our of righteousness because we too busy eating from the fruits of deception.
And you just made me realize that verse a little bit better that I told you. When I told you that verse when God says, set your face upon these women. Okay. The reason God said that is because in the beginning, when he gave man a woman, man didn't set his face against the doggone woman. He let the woman he let the woman persuade him and do things that God, listen, Adam's relationship with God was so perfect and profound, he didn't even have to talk to him. Adam and God didn't even have to talk. They was telecommunicating or whatever the hell they were doing, but they had something going on. They didn't even have to talk. When he gave him the woman, and the woman was deceived by the snake or however it goes, and then she deceived Adam, God knew that they ate of the tree because they was hiding.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they didn't know innocence until they ate of the tree. So it's almost like men have to we are easily persuaded when it comes to women, but we have to change that. Meaning like men are weak when it comes to women. And I preach this to men. Like I'm celibate this day because I want to gain willpower and discipline over myself to not be easily moved by sex with a woman. Now, yes, I love women. I love interacting with women. I love the conversation with women. But men think one of the only things we do with women is to hump up and down on them. And every woman you meet is not to sex on.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like we have to find quality of relationships in women because relationships, partnerships, companionships, friendships, a ship on the goddamn water, any ship that you're aboard is designed to take you from one place to the next. And if your ships aren't doing that, then you should abandon them.
When God first came back to chasing them, the first thing he said is, Adam, where are you? Because you heard and you listened to your woman. I gave you dominion. I told you what to do. Right? And the woman's punishment was that she was going to have to listen to her man. Childbearing. You have
period.
pain,
and period. And a period.
And your desire will be to rule over him, but in the end, he'll rule over you. And that's what the contention is today, because there's too many people trying to rule over each other, and they not go by the design of what God cursed women with. So that puts more pressure on you to find a man of God. You can't be out here with any kind of man you think you're going to have a good life, because God said he going to rule over you. So I got to be careful in who I choose.
Who you attach yourself to. That's right.
I better choose the right one.
That's right. You got to be careful.
Right one, my life going to be a mess.
Facts.
And I was going to go into talking about single motherhood in America. But I don't have too much time. But I think that's imperative for women to understand. When you go out here choosing a man and you talking about God, you better make sure that's a God-fearing man, because that man gonna have rulership over that home. And if you contend with it, you contending with God. So you better be careful in who you put over you.
And
now. There's no reason
this
why
moment.
There's no reason why, with a choice that you have, that you're making a decision to choose the wrong man. Because that man gonna have rulership over you, and you gonna have to contend with that man if he's not a God-fearing man.
And let's take this moment to let them know that this will be a sequel. I told you this. I said this is gonna get so good and it's gonna be so long. We're gonna have like a part 2, part 3, whatever, and then you can start it from the single parent thing. But
I ain't even got to half of what I ain't even got to half of where I need to be.
Don't worry about it. We're gonna keep this going. But bro, I told you, and we're gonna keep the dialogue up. This is not just gonna be tonight or about my mother and your mother. This is bigger than that. And people might not understand it, but let's just go on about our father's business, man, and do what we and keep fighting the good fight. Come on, go to the next trait.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the next one. The next one, the last one, is hold on. Let me pull this screen down, pull this up, because I interrupted the 7. Let me see. Where is that? The tank. Right? The tank crushes everything in its wake. Hold on. A human tank is always right, doesn't take anyone else's feelings or ideas into account, and constantly puts themselves first. In a relationship, tanks are incredibly arrogant and see their personal opinion as facts. This is because they often think they are the smartest person in the room, so they see every conversation in person as a challenge that must be won over. They rarely see others as equals, and this can be challenging when trying to form a loving connection. If you feel your ideas are being run over or you are not being respected, get out while you still can. That's a warning. Get out while you still can.
My mama said, I said, my mama says it's her way or the highway. And in that song that you play, I say, in Lily's house, she had to be the dome. And what she said goes, and Lily ain't never wrong. They got to be the head, and anything in their way, they gonna barge your ass out the way. I think your mama the same way. I saw that in her.
Oh yeah, she definitely. If you don't agree with her, this is what she say. That's your truth. This is my truth. Truth is constant. It ain't got no. How you gonna have your truth and then my truth? There's no basis by which we can come to an agreement, because you basing everything on what you believe to be true. Why can't we just play by the rules? You want to make up your own ideologies, and everybody got to capitulate and acquiesce to what you think is right.
That's rationalism.
When it doesn't suit you, you say, well, that's your truth, and this is my truth. What?
That's called rationalism. And that's one of the problems of the world. When people try to use dogma and words to, kind of like trickery you. You can't do that these days, man. You can't.
You can never find common ground like that.
That's why God say,
I'll go get the Bible and put it out. Put it out right here. This is what God say right here. Well, that's your interpretation. No, Mom. Peter said the scriptures is not a matter of anyone's private interpretation. I show her another scripture, rightly divided, line upon line, precept upon precept. No, that's what you interpret from that situation. I said we never find no basis by which we can. If we play basketball, and you said that out was the boundary lines outside the court, and I said no, it's outside. It's outside the building. Who gonna win? Whoever gonna be out, she gonna always be in a favorable situation. They gonna always be in a favorable situation because there's no basis but for the rules. There's no foundation of rules. In order for things to be functioning and operational and fair, there has to be rules to outline.
And that's why God said, ain't no lukewarm. You can't be lukewarm. You either hot or cold. You
Yeah.
either right or you wrong. Ain't no in between. Is it? That's it. And so, well, you know what? You're right. You did shock me. I did not know all of that. We didn't actually get together and talk all of this and plan nothing out. But when
I
you
told
told
you
me
we
you
didn't
got
have
some
to.
good stuff, boy,
I told you we didn't have to. I told
you
you that
right.
I got you. I got
You're
you.
right. But I will
But
say this: part 2 and 3 and 4 is coming, y'all, and not just part 2 and 3 and 4 about this. I think that me and Kevin needs to collaborate and do something bigger than just right here. I think we need to do something like a podcast situation, creating dialogue uh, on situations and circumstances and things like this right here. But go ahead, Kevin. I really do think God is leading us to this. I think when I was young and I was speaking up on things like this early on, I was 16, 17, 18 years old, arguing with my grandmama and them about things that we talking about right now. They used to tell me about honor thy mother and the father, and I used to tell them about train up the child in the way that it should go, and provoke not your child to wrath. And I said, Grandma, don't she be provoking me all the time? Why y'all don't tell her about provoke your child not to wrath? They was using the scripture on me to tame me and to make me discipline, but they wouldn't use the scripture on my mama to make her get right. And that's when I
right.
felt like it was lopsided. They made me sharpen my scripture up to come to them and say, why y'all ain't telling her this? And why y'all ain't telling her that? And bro, I got so exhausted. 18, 19, 20, 21, till when I turned 22, I wrote that song Mama Dear, because I heard Pac saying Dear Mama, right?
Yeah.
And I like that song. I really do. And a lot of people do. But one thing that didn't sit well with me about that song, because of the dynamics of mother that I had, not that it's bad, it's just what I had, okay? Pop said, and even though you was a crack fiend mama, you always was a black queen mama. Now let's stop right there for 1 second and tell me what person that they mama smoke crack, right? Because we know a lot of people that mama smoke crack. You tell me that person view his crackhead mama as a black queen.
Oh no, absolutely not.
It don't work that way.
No.
And what it made me think that Pop was doing was lighting the burden of women when he did that. It's almost like it gave them an excuse to be as negative as they want to be and still be looked at in high regards. And I'm like, no, because you can't do that to men. Men, let me tell you, I like if I got a woman, right, I'm the type of man that I like to be not so much chastised by my woman, but I like to have a woman that cares enough, right, that can tell me when I'm doing wrong. Even if it's her own wrong. Like when we go in that bathroom to piss, right? And they say, pick that toilet seat up when you go in there. We can understand that. So we'll pick the toilets. We try to get that right for them, right? We lift it up. We go in and do what we got to do. And guess what? We may forget sometimes. We may forget to put it back down because that ain't that important to me, right? But I've had women in my past that they felt like putting it back down was important. So I'll get to put it up, right? But then when I don't put it back down, guess what she'll complain? She'll say, now you ain't put the toilet seat back down. I'll be like, damn, you told me to pick it up. What about why I got to put it down? Because when I go in there and I'm rushing and I don't look and I'm not looking back to see, when I put my pants down and sit down, I sit down in the toilet. So you need to put it down. And in my mind, thinking reasonable and logically, I'm thinking, well, why don't you look back and put the damn toilet seat down like you telling me? But as men, or as the man that I am, I take the straightening from my wife and I try to get it right. Whatever she says, she can say, I'm going to work. I leave you here in the bed. When I get home from work, I want the bed made up when I come home. I'm gonna make sure I make the goddamn bed up when you come home, because that's gonna be an argument. If you say, whatever you eat when I come back from work, please don't have no dishes in my sink. Just no matter whatever you do, just don't have no dishes in the sink. I'm gonna make sure them damn dishes is out the sink because I don't want to hear her mouth. You get what I'm saying? I like the woman that can speak truth to me and correct me. But you know what? You can't really.
I couldn't be with no woman that wouldn't say those things to me. You know, I can't be with no subservient woman that don't say nothing and just let me do. No, I can't do that. She's an extension of who I am. So how am I going to allow my woman to be this docile, not speaking, not saying? My wife, she get on me about stuff and I accept it. Hey, babe, I'm gonna get it together. I'm gonna make sure I got it. I forgot about it. All right. Make sure you get
You know
it.
what,
I
though?
don't see nothing wrong. I don't see nothing wrong with that. That's respect.
But
You know what I'm
most
saying?
men,
Every woman should be respected. Every woman should be respected.
facts,
Every woman, regardless of who she is. I don't care if she a streetwalker, if she whatever she is, she want to be loved. And she
facts.
deserves to be respected. And
That's
I'm gonna
right.
respect all women regardless. I don't care. And I learned it's just some women you just can't deal with.
That's
God
right.
got somebody out there for you. If you want to be a whoremonger, God got somebody out there for you to set your ass up. He reserves a
Listen,
bad woman for his enemies. He do. And so if you want that and you ain't gonna listen, there's a woman out there for you, my nigga. There's a woman out there. But there's also a woman out there that really want a good man, want leadership, and want to be none of these women. I don't care what none of these women say. I don't care. I'm gonna go out here and make a blanket statement. None of these women out here don't want to be loved. None of these women. They want somebody to love them and value them no matter who they are. Right? And we just got to get out of this. In our community, entertainment has degraded our women. It has objectified our women, and we only perceive them as sexual beings.
and
And I
men
think that's
want
the
that
most
sex so
unfortunate
much,
aspect. That's the
and
most
men want that.
unfortunate aspect of the design of a black woman or any woman.
And
They are
men
not
want
to
that
be
sex from women
objectified.
so much, Kevin. Men want to have sex with women so much that they don't put their face to the woman to say and put straightening on things like how they should, because they want easy access in the bed. Whereas though the manly man gonna speak righteousness to his wife and his kids, man. It's almost
That's
like
right.
it's not. I don't care whether you gonna not give me none tonight. So I'd rather you understand that this is more detrimental than us having sex tonight. And what I'm saying about men, I'm not. Men make it easier. We are the easiest because we'll give women everything and anything just for sex, and we'll overlook chastising and correcting them for sex, and that just creates. You know, most men choose their women for be young and dumb. Like men want young and dumb women. They want women that's dumb as a box of rocks to just do anything that they say, right? I
Hold
don't
on.
want that. I
Hold
don't
that
want
thought. Let me say this because at the end of this, I want people to be able to speak. We got Pete Panther that's in the box and she want to come up. So um I got to get these people, some of these women's opinion, because I don't want this to be a male dominated conversation. So
facts.
let's get
Facts.
some of the women up here, and I'm asking that the women come up here and help us out, because it ain't gonna just be no male chauvinistic shit going on here. We want
That's
to get
right.
your opinion about this because we need you to help us navigate the uncharted waters when it comes to a woman's perspective of this. But go ahead, brother.
No, we just have to work together on this. I agree with you. It takes two, just like it takes two to make a child. It takes two to work together to raise the child, and it takes two to work together to continue, you know, to upbring that thing in the right way. So yeah, let's whatever you got next, let's do that so that you can open up the floor to the women that's here.
Great. Okay, this is what I wanted to say to all the women that's in here, because I look at some of the analytics, and there's 90% women, and so I'm always gonna pay respect to my women in here. You are making this happen, and I truly respect the women that come in here and they want to voice their opinion. But I want to say this to all the women out there, young or old: you are so much more than your body. You are so much more than sex. You are the gateway to life, and you should act accordingly. Your body ain't worth $40. Your body ain't worth $1 million. God said he wonderfully made you. And when we elevate our thinking, when it comes to our women, we elevate our community. Because niggas who ain't go get nice cars, haircuts, muscles, and all this shit if it wasn't for y'all being the driving force for some of this shit. Don't ever acquiesce or capitulate to a lower mindset of yourself. Elevate your mind. You more than tattoos. You're more than ass, more than titties. You're more than the sexual object to be objectified. Walk as queens. Don't talk as queens. Walk as queens. Because the Bible says the kingdom of God is not a matter of talk, but of action. So with that, I segue, and I want to have some of the women come up and give me their mindset of what they think and share your story.
Have y'all women, have y'all ever had any experiences with some of the things that we was talking about tonight? If so, elaborate and speak it from a female's perspective.
This is Pink Panther right here.
Hi, you guys. Hi, gentlemen.
Peace
It's a
and love. How you
pleasure.
doing, Pink Panther? Peace and love, darling.
I'm good. I am just so happy that you guys are discussing this because more people need to do this and it doesn't get done enough. And you rarely hear gentlemen speak without being interrupted by women. So I appreciate you guys even giving me the platform to speak, but I had to speak. I want to let you know, first of all, my background, because I have, it's so much to unpack and I'm not going to take up so much time, but
It's okay.
I grew up, okay, so I grew up with 5 sisters, no brothers. They're all older than I. The one next to me is 6 years older, and then they're all together. I have 4 daughters, 4 daughters from, I was married twice and I had 4 daughters. My mom is one girl of 3. And her mother is the only child. Between all of us sisters, we have 20 children and only 4 are boys. So I know women like the back of my hand. All right.
Woo!
It's the toxicity comes in 2 forms, passive and there's active. You can have a woman who's passively toxic. She has no idea what she's doing. Yet, like No Cash said, she's infecting people with it. So you may say, damn, why do I have these whole tendencies? Well, it's because your mom is actually a whore, but she didn't teach you how. You got it through osmosis, like, and it's pardon my language, but it's like that. But then
you're right.
But then you may have and then you'll have an actively toxic mom who will literally teach her child to be a whore, her daughter. And this is where the JJs come in, because these women literally go out to destroy their children because for whatever reason, mostly because they just don't like them because they're better than them, or they just have some stuff to get out. But whatever the case, they literally go out and teach their children how to do these things. Sort of like how No Cash was saying his mom was teaching him how to lie. It happens like that. So I just wanted to highlight the 2 types of toxicity. I have a sister that's so evil. She's so evil that to see her smile is an anomaly. And I said,
Dang. I said, dang.
Yeah, like I love my sisters. I love my sisters. But when I got married, I decided to move far, far away. I was in Chicago and I moved to Arizona. Like I did not want them to even infect my marriage or anything like that, especially my daughters. I would forbid my mom when they would come visit. I would forbid my mom to take my daughters to my sister's houses and leave them there. They're not to spend the night. Any clothes that they go there with, they have to leave there. I don't know what they were capable of doing, but I do know one thing. And I just want to say this. This is not my evil sister, but one of my other sisters has grandsons. And one of the grandsons my daughter was really cool with. My daughter was was 20 years old. This was last year. And she went to hang out with him. She was visiting Chicago. And he tried to have sex with her.
Oh my God.
Now, listen, the incest thing, it was happening in my family. My sisters would never confront it. I came back to Chicago and I was like asking my nieces, why are y'all gay? Because I'm like, y'all not really gay, but why are y'all gay? And they were like, Auntie, it's just this, that. I said, what's going on? Did somebody, abuse you or something? And they told me, yeah. And they were telling me who it was. So I'm going to my sisters like, did y'all know that your sons are doing it? Did you know that your man's cousin was doing this? All this stuff. My mom was like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about it. They wouldn't even really deal with it. But they had the fucking nerve to try to put that on my daughter. I moved away to get away from that. And when I told my sister what happened, this bitch had the nerve to be like, well, I don't believe you. I don't believe it because, I know him and he won't do this. I was like, it's bitches like you. I'm not going to deal with that. And I don't even want to see her. So I don't even deal with my sisters on that level anymore. I don't even see her. It's crazy. It's like they want to come out and say the girls are wrong. It's just like what they did to your nieces. They come out and say that the girls are wrong. It's never
Well,
mind.
no. Look, I'm glad you said that, Pink. Listen, they don't just do it to the girls. Look at what they're doing to me and Kevin. They do it to the victims, and that's the wrong thing. That's why me and Kevin decided to come out and be outspoken about it, because we knew that people were probably coming scrutinizing us, but we wanted to be the voice to people that felt just like how you feeling right there. We want people to know that they can voice and vent and have a place to speak and not be judged.
We got another participant in on here, so I want to get his opinion about things. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Stay up here if you want to. We're gonna let Beard Gang speak. What's going on?
Man, I just want to just give all glory to God, because without him, there wouldn't be no us. There would be no righteousness. And I just want to, give my condolences to you and the family. I don't like to be the center of attention, nothing. He knows that. He knows me. So it kind of like, I'm trying to work with God's faith when I speak. But I just want to say, we are all on the same page when it comes to this toxicity or people dealing with negativity. And, you try to speak out what was right. And sometimes, when the whole thing started spilling out, people moves in snaky ways and start showing their ass. So, when bro got hurt, he got hurt on my birthday, June 7th. My birthday is June 7th. So I didn't do shit for my birthday. So when he left, he told, I don't be in the gossip shit or who know who. When P left, he told us that person cool. And I didn't know the snaky ways until that person start lashing out on godly people that's never in the negative void. They always positive, always shed light on God, always show love on P. Like when you came around, the ops was opping. They usually do the ops, but I had to start thinking with God, my enemy is your enemy. We need to eliminate the bullshit. So, I don't condone them, like, because I'm laid back. I chill. I don't like to be out in the open and shit. So when they was saying your name and everything, I was like, what is it for, Lord? What is this? What's really going on? Just by them talking about you, I was thinking, like, what's going on? So I had to think, like you said in the video, like, I don't know P's enemy. I don't know none of this. I'm only here to take care of my brother.
That's right.
My brother, point blank, period. So if you hear from my brother, then that's it. But other than that, let's keep it moving. So I just want to, I could bring up all my brothers and my siblings, and they would say the same thing about my mother. I love my mother. When she gets sick, I'm going to take care of her, but I can't take care of her now because she's not a team player. She wants to be the leader. She wants to be the man. She, working with emotions, and men are logical. Like, let's get together. You good at this, and you good at this, and you good at this. But I'm about to get off, and I want to just say, continue to do what's right. The enemy is always going to try to lure you to do wrong, but a fight is going to be a fight. Like you said, Kevin,
That's
you didn't
right.
want to be up on here. You don't.
Right.
You got your whole family. You all set up, but you're doing it for your brother. And I just wanted to, let you know the church, the real church, not the hidden ones that's got our badge and trying to say we with the church, but your actions show other than that. We're here for you, because I know you're going to do what's right for your family, and we just going to be
Right.
sitting back. Whatever you need, just let us know. But
Amen.
you stay
Hey,
blessed, highly
Beer
favored.
Gang, let me say something to you real fast before you go, bro.
Yes, sir.
The Spirit telling me to say this to you. You got a lot to say.
Oh yeah.
You have a lot to convey. I can hear it, even though you being short with us, right? And you saying you being short. I can hear otherwise. I can
Mm-hmm.
hear that you got breakthrough stories of things that you may feel like is a mess in your life, or things that you may feel like was a test in your life. But God has a strange way of using your mess to make a message, and He has a way to use your test to make a testimony to others.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times people muffle us for different reasons, or we'll muffle ourselves because we don't want to be judged or scrutinized. Sort of like I was telling Kevin, I was not going to openly come out here and do this with him because I felt like I was going to be scrutinized. But guess what? So what? Sometimes you got to face the scrutiny. You got to speak out regardless and be
Mm-hmm.
somebody that speaks truth to power in
Oh
spite
yeah.
of, bro.
Oh
And I
yeah.
think that once you do open that mouth, like you did a little bit for us just now,
Oh,
you're going to cause some breakthroughs, man, because I heard a little bit, and I don't want you to expound on it right now, but you was talking about Keith, and you was talking about things that was near and dear to you, and I can see that you really compassionate about Keith, but then you injected that thing in there about your mom, and you let us know that I'm on the same page with y'all right there too.
what I'm going to speak, when I speak is the truth. Even the truth, through the good and the bad. I use the bad that made me a man who I am now. What I've been through with my mom, I don't let the bullshit. I don't let no other body deal me the same bullshit. So, and through the a lot of what I think was bad, only made me strong, prepared me to get out there in the world and say, "Oh yeah, you can't talk to me like that." Even though it's minor, my mom already prepared me for the outer world because I had to deal with this inside the home. So, it's not about me, and I try not to never make it about me. Pete, no, I come in and say my 2 cents. Give God the glory, because without Him, we ain't gonna be here. He give us the freedom of will to speak and be right and righteous and wrong. But people always want to do foul things. I don't know why, because I don't live in that world. Anybody who's doing what they doing and they know they wrong, I just say, God bless you. You do what you want to do. You wrong though, but I'll let you go ahead and be over there. I Men, we love peace of mind, and Keith, he created something for him to have peace for him and his kids. He loved his kids. He deeply loved his kids. He never judged his kids by just simply of who he had the baby with. He made sure each and every kid was taken care of. Even when he was mad at his mom, he still took care of his mom. uh it's a whole lot of stuff I can share, but it's not going to be about me. It's about P. And I'm glad a sibling is stepping up like I want my siblings to step up and do the righteous thing. You ain't doing it. I can tell. I can tell you're doing it because you're doing it out of love. You still love your mom, but she's wrong. And if you won't do it, who's going to do it?
Right. Absolutely.
I am
So
my brother's keeper. I am my brother's keeper.
I've been saying that all week. So, but yeah, continue on. I'm learning a lot. I'm screenshotting scriptures, and keep on doing the good fight and the good love, and keep God in your heart, your mind, your spirit, and your soul. And I pray, amen.
Thank you,
Salute,
brother.
brother. Salute, man.
Thanks for coming up, man.
Hey,
King
Kevin.
Panther, did you want to? Yeah,
Kevin.
go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I know I was speaking from the mothers to the daughters dynamic, but I have seen my sisters let their daughters stay in the house forever and ever, amen, and have all types of children with all types of men, and will put their sons out way before they are ready to go out. It's like they don't have any love or empathy for their sons, and they treat them like either that's their men, or like they are their fathers. And for whatever reason, they remind them of their fathers and will tell them, you ain't gonna be shit like your father, and all the rest of this stuff is disgusting. It is
I was
disgusting.
told that
But
too. I was told that too.
I was told that
yeah,
too. I think that
literally
mothers,
they do that.
I think a
They
lot of
Man,
do.
mothers resent the kids because the kids look like the dad. Remember, I
yeah.
said in the beginning that you have your dad's DNA. You don't have to grow up around your dad to walk like your dad and talk like your dad. These type of things are genetic. So your mother knows your dad better than you. And you reminds her constantly of your dad. And if your dad was a thorn in her side, or somebody who got on her nerves, or somebody who she couldn't control, she'll take that out on you because of the resemblance.
She
Yep.
will do that, but she also is not being very forthcoming, because a lot of these children are born in situations where the man really wasn't counting on having them, and will leave them. And they, right? And so they will just discard, like they'll say things like that. My sisters say, I have told them over and over again, let them go with their father. Oh no, I'm not doing that because he don't know how to be a father. He ain't shit. Like you mean to tell me you procreated with a dude that wasn't shit, but you're
Thank
not
you.
even gonna let him see his son? Like, you're the best mother, but how is the man supposed to learn how to be a father just like you learned how to be a mother? You're not even gonna
Right.
And
give
truth,
him a chance.
and truth of the
Right.
matter is, I'm not talking about no particular mother, but mothers aren't the best mothers. They're just doing the best they can from where they are. Same thing a dad would do if he's giving the opportunity. But guess what I tell women? I think
What's
women
that?
become single mothers because they don't do what they should do. I think that when a woman have a baby, when she push it out and the doctor hand it to her, she need to hand it to the boyfriend, tell him to cut the umbilical cord and say, here's your baby. And then what will
Absolutely.
happen is, if she give it to him and say, here's your baby, it'll put him in a position to say, okay, all right, now this is mine, but you got to help me now. You got milk in them titties, I need your help. So now you will have a helpmate by force. But when y'all take the baby and say, my, treat him like a
Yep.
crazy all the time, he don't got no say so, can't do nothing, then after a while, it kind of makes it easy for a man to walk away. But not me. I
Absolutely.
busted somewhere and take
Absolutely.
my baby. When I found out I couldn't go to jail for taking my own child, I showed my mama, my girlfriend, all of them. I love my kids. I bust up in somewhere and take my doggone turn. You ain't gonna do that to me.
Yeah.
Yep. Me too.
I I really feel bad for you, Kevin and Keith, because your mom is, I've written this before, but your mom is very evil, to the point where I can't a lot of times take hearing her or listening to your lives, because I have never seen someone that evil to just profess that they don't like their children, especially their sons. It's it's hard to even digest, you know.
And
And see,
the same thing she said about me, she said about Keith one time. At one
She's
time.
trying to she's trying to kill him. She's trying to take him out. For whatever reason, I think is vengeful. And she ran up on another woman who wanted revenge, and together they created this vengeful environment. And he
hey, I
knows
didn't
it,
say
but he
that.
can't do it.
I didn't say
Yeah.
that, but I'll be less than a man if I don't be honest, because Kevin told me we have to be open and honest up here. And because you opened the door with what you just said, I didn't say this, but I did juggle with that thought. And here's why.
Yep.
I don't just put it out there for no reason. I heard Kevin say, not just Kevin, I heard Dale and them say before Kevin said it, the man been playing dominoes, right? Now,
Yeah.
in
Hmm.
my mind, I thought that was a lie. I said, Man, they lying. Ain't no way they saying the man can't talk, he can't walk, but he playing damn dominoes. Now they just put out the video the other day showing how he was playing the domino, you know, putting it where it go and all that, right?
Yeah.
Now, if he was doing that good back in July, and now the nigga can barely have a damn conversation, boy, something ain't going right with him. And I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's how I felt, but I wasn't gonna say it on here. But she said it. So I'm just
It's true.
piggybacking
It's
because
true. You know, the best way that you can kill a person is to keep away things and people that they love. I
oh
mean,
my
we know
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
babies will die for lack of affection. And he
yes.
is at a baby stage. And this is
Oh
what
my
you're doing.
God.
You're starting it out with a lack of affection. This is going to, she is literally killing him. It's nothing else that I can say about that. Having him in a
Mm.
hostage type situation. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Absolutely. Hey, and
And I
you
heard
know,
the daughter the other day.
my
I heard the
mom,
daughter say something like
wait,
this, Kevin. Explain to me what that daughter was saying. Cause maybe I was misconstruing. The daughter was saying when he was thumbs up and all that, he was doing good one time or something like that. Did she say somebody did a mixture with some medicine or something? I don't know how it went, man. Tell me what that was. Cause I don't know what the fuck I heard, but I know what I thought I heard.
um, I heard what she said. You heard what she said. I
Mm.
didn't see it, but it's something that I've been saying. If you go to my other videos, I was saying that he was being sedated.
God damn.
Mm,
I didn't
mm,
actually
mm.
see that occur, but if she said it, I have no reason not to believe her. I think the kids are very credible. They spoke from their heart.
That's
Yep,
right. Listen, we
they
always been
did.
told a child will tell you the truth. You can go around a child if you smell bad, they'll say you stink. And they ain't meaning no harm,
Let
but
me
they smell something foul in there. A child gonna tell you the
let,
harsh truth.
let, let me tell you how wicked these people are. And they not thinking about this. Y'all go understand what I'm saying though. This is the reason why victims never come out and speak because of what these people did.
Mm,
When these girls came out here and said what they said from their own mouths, this is the single reason why a lot of people don't come out and speak against sexual molestation, rape, this, that, and the third, because of what these people did. That's with that family over there that you know what I'm talking about, and how they came and dismissed what these children said. That's why they don't come
mm-hmm.
out.
No
That's why they don't
protection.
come out.
No
Yeah,
protection
That
at
they
lets you
all.
feel like
know though,
nobody is
Kevin.
going to believe them.
That lets you
And
know that
they
what
are
was
the creators. They are the creators of the predators in our society.
Mm-hmm.
They are for what they did. That's why it makes it so much worse to have that kind of person operating in that capacity. Because do you see what these people say about children, about a child being assaulted? They normalize this stuff. It's
they make the
freaky.
child have to explain more than what a child has the capacity to. Instead of just hearing the child say that this child is going through something that requires my attention, they make the child go through trying to articulate it in the best way for them to believe it, and that's asinine to me.
My mom and my dad was sweethearts in high school, and that was her first relationship. Okay, so I have to say this because of what she said the last time. I forgot what she said, but my dad, me and my dad look just alike. And I think she harbors resentment and bitterness towards my dad, which is the reason why she treat me the way that she treat me, because she really loved my dad. My dad was a very charismatic guy. Even to this day, he is. And I'm going to show you a picture of my dad so y'all can see what he looks like. This is my dad. I'm going to show you my dad. This is a picture of me and my dad just a past. Hold on. Let me get this picture off because I had another picture off. Oh, wait. Yeah, here it is. Hold on. Give me 1 second. This is my dad. Not this person. Not that nigga. For sure, not that. This nigga right here.
I missed the nigga. Who was that nigga? You said that nigga.
Don't even worry
Truth
about that
teller.
nigga.
I know that's who it was. I heard his voice.
This is my daddy right here. Do
Wow.
y'all see this? Can
Your
y'all
daddy
see
in the
this?
middle?
Yep, that's my daddy in the middle.
Yeah, yeah, I can see. Smooth, debonair. And as old as he is, he still look like he got some smoothness going on.
Uh-huh. That's my dad in the middle. That's my uncle on the side of him. And we look alike. So a lot of people didn't know why my mom treated me the way that she did. Hold on. And it was solely because of that. Hold on. What the hell? Can y'all see me?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see you up there.
Hold on. I can't see y'all. Something happened.
Oh,
shoot.
I lost y'all. Hold on. Wait a minute.
I see me, you, and her box.
All right. Hold on. I got to get back on. Enter my live chat. Hold on. 1 second. I lost. For some reason, they booted me out. All right. I got y'all back. Hold on. Yeah, that's my dad. That's my dad. And that's the reason why.
Oh.
That's the reason why.
Can't hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I couldn't hear Kevin.
That's the reason why I feel like my mother has so much bitterness and animosity towards me.
No.
Hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay. Well, I want to.
I can see Kevin, but I can't hear him.
You can't hear me? Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Can you hear me now?
See Kevin, but I can't.
I can hear you, Kevin, but she can't hear you.
Oh,
I'm gonna mute myself real fast, y'all.
Can you hear me now? She can't hear me. Okay.
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you now.
You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, this is going a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I enjoyed the night with you guys, and I really thank you guys for coming out and listening and inquiring about this. But I gotta go.
Absolutely. Jesus is Lord, you guys, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much for participating. Thank everybody that came out for me and No Cash. We really appreciate you coming out, and we look forward to the next conversation. Cash, do you have a pic of Keep Dad?
I'm here. I'm here.
I don't have a pic of Keep Dad. Thank you guys so much for coming out, and I appreciate you coming out. Cash, you know what it is, bro. We go do this again one day.
You about to wrap it up. Let me say something to you real fast before you wrap it up, because I didn't get a chance to do it on the front end of it. We just jumped right in, and I was nervous because I had to pull over. But it's something I wanted to say to you, bro, to clear the air up, because there's a whole lot of talk going on Bigo about you dealing with ops and all of that kind of crap like that, right? But
yeah,
I want to clear something up. Your brother had what they're calling ops, but the truth of the matter is a lot of your brother ops, including what they calling me your brother ops. I don't got no damn ops. But the reason why your brother was my ops, because he chose to be. And I think a lot of the people that your brothers was ops with, he chose to be ops with them too. Now, not all of them. And so I wanted to clear the air with that, right? Because people like to say, when they heard I was, about to, I told people that I wanted to help you in whatever way that I could. And they was like, for what? Keith didn't like you. Keith talked shit like you, blah, 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 blah. And they couldn't understand that why I identified with your situation, and I didn't care about what Keith did to me. But I wanted to clear this up. He didn't really do anything to me with his actions. He just put words on me. And he did that to not just me, he did it to a lot of people in the Keys community. He had a rivalry with Brandon that I didn't know anything about. I joined Brandon's agency, which is the Keys community. And immediately when I joined Keys, I adopted the Keys and the church beef, and I didn't even know it. And so a lot of people was getting on you saying you're dealing with a lot of your brother's ops. And I heard you say after watching you, I don't know Pastor P. I don't know his ops. And I'm not listening to what y'all saying. I'm doing what I came here to do. And in the beginning of that, I saw who was considered to be some of his ops. They were actually taking the opportunity to go after him while he was down, to kick him while he was down at first. But then when they saw how your approach was, some of the people who are really was his ops began to start speaking up for him. Harder than some of the people that rocked with him every day. And they began to start donating to him. And so what I wanted to give you props on is this, and you taught me how to do it. You made me differentiate social media from real life when it comes to this situation, because I didn't have no problem with your brother in real life, neither on social media. He made a problem for me on social media, right? And I think he made a problem for he was a real problem to a lot of people, because that's how the app works. And he was the king of it. But what I want to say that you did, bro, keep doing what you're doing and fighting the good fight, because when you first came out, people was not understanding you. They was misconstruing what you was doing, taking everything out of context. But one thing I saw you did, bro, with my own eyes that nobody ain't got to tell me, you converted me to understand what was important and most important and prioritized. And you made some of the people who was his real enemies, bro, or his real ops, you converted them and made them have compassion for this situation. And a lot of them donated to you, and they're speaking up, being some of the loudest voices of reason and power to get understanding where your brother is concerned, man. And so I just want to say, a lot of times people's perspective, people's perception and opinions don't really matter in the grand scheme of things when they don't understand what is going on. You're doing something very powerful. You're reaching people, and this is what needs to happen, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. Only the strong people will do this. God give his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. And you, my brother, are a real soldier. And I want to salute you for what you're doing, and just standing in the gap for your brother. And I know you didn't know everything to do for him. I knew you didn't have it all figured out, but you were just a willing vessel. And that was God said, you go, and I'll give you the words. And so I feel like that's what you did, bro. And you got a breakthrough. When I said I was going to help you, my two things was to try to get people, buffer your situation and get people to understand you, and try to get you to talk with your mom and see whether y'all can work things out. And those things happen. Granted, y'all can't work them out the way that you want it to be amicably, but it's going to work. It's going to work itself out, bro. And just keep doing what you got to do to work with it, and God going to do the rest. I want to say I'm learning from you, man. And yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, bro, because it ain't falling on deaf ears. And anything you need me for, we're going to do this again for part 2, 3, whatever you want to do. And then I think we need to get together on the back end and make something substantial out of this. We'll talk about it as far as like some type of podcast or something, but podcasts nowadays are always talking about money, ways to manipulate the people, drugs, guns, relationships, sex, and all this type of stuff. The things that we all can do easily. But I don't see no podcasts as many out here talking about things like what we're talking about, and creating dialogue that could be actually helpful to people to use and implement into their lives and apply in their lives to get better results. And so let's just stay on this mission, bro, because God got us on this path, and we don't want to be Jonah. I was already Jonah. I was running from this mission ever since I was 21 years old when I was going hard at it. And then I just went astray. I'm back on it now, bro, and I'm not going to go astray, and I'm here for you if you need me. All right?
Same thing here, brother. Thank you for coming out and helping me to create this content. Without you, it's not possible. I really appreciate you, all the guests, everybody that came up here and spoke, all the people that participated in the comment section. Thank you so much. Until next time, see ya. Have a good
All
day.
right, y'all. Once again, I am the homie No Cash, and I'm going to sign this thing on off with a big tenfo. Over and out. Peace and love. Standing here alone.